You're watching the 85th Scranton Lions Club Dream Game presented by Coordinated Health Scranton Orthopedics on MyTV WQMY.
Welcome to John F. Hens's Veterans Memorial Stadium in Peckville, Lackawanna County. Tonight, under great playing conditions, it's the 85th Annual Scranton Lions Club Dream Game presented by Coordinated Health. Good evening, everyone. I'm Bob Ide, joined topside in the booth by Hall of Fame coach Stan Kuharski, and Paul Grippy will join us shortly. And as we take a look at the last 5 meetings between the city and the county, the city won last year's game. It was close throughout the first half, but they pulled ahead in the second half to pull out the win. And coach, on paper, tonight's two teams look pretty even.
They do. There's a lot of parity. It's going to be a question of the approach that either team is going to take. I strongly believe that whoever throws the ball better tonight is going to have the upper hand.
Speaking of throwing, two great quarterbacks on the city side. Donnie Blaine from North Pocono, he'll get the start, but our spotlight player is going to be Nathan Roca from Lackawanna Trail, who's going to the University of Delaware to play baseball. He led Lackawanna Trail last year to the Class A state finals.
He had a remarkable career. About both quarterbacks, I think it's very rare where you get two young quarterbacks who are four-year starters, and both of these young men were that way and led their teams to tremendous seasons for almost the 4 years that they played. Roca, you and I saw him over his last 3 years, Old Forge games. He made great plays, and of course he made it to the state finals, so what more could you ask of a young man?
On the county side, they're going to rely on a great running attack led by a guy who plays right here at Valley View, Mason Cordish.
Mason had a phenomenal year. His ability to be able to bounce off tacklers and accelerate was exceptional. Along with Janassa Boone, they were two difference makers in every game that they played, and of course Mason really was the heart of the 13-1 Cougars.
Absolutely. Two coaches, first time ever coaching here in the Dream Game, and they're standing by now with Paul Grippy.
Okay, Bob, getting ready for a kickoff for the Dream Game. I'm with the two head coaches, Kyle Cook of Susquehanna. He's the coach of the city team. The coach for the county team, Mike Drakowski of Honesdale. Coach, this has been an experience for you. What have you gotten out of it coaching these players?
Just appreciation for these kids. I mean, their talent levels and just the young men and the respect that they have for the game has been very enlightening and encouraging, and just had an awesome time with these guys.
Okay, you'll be going up against a good city team coached by Kyle Cook. And Coach, your experience, what do you want the players to get out of this?
I think they've gotten a lot out of it already, just meeting new people and playing with new guys, maybe some enemies of theirs during the season, and putting 10 days of work in with them. And I think they're going to get a lot of friendships out of this for the rest of the time that they're around, and either through college or after college. I see guys out and about. So.
And we'll get into that more later in the game. But, yes, this is an experience that the players remember for the rest of their life. So, Bob, a couple of old coaches from what used to be the Suburban Conference, they're here tonight at the Dream Game, a day late, but a nice night for football.
Thank you, Paul. And speaking of the weather, it's overcast right now, but to give us more on the forecast, let's head now to Allie Debicki from the Fox 56 News First at 10. Allie?
Yes, here's your forecast for the Dream Game. Temperatures by 7 o'clock still sitting near 81 degrees. Now, you will see a few pops of sunshine before the sun sets, but through the evening, expect clouds to break, becoming partly cloudy as temperatures sit near 75 by 9 o'clock. By 11 p.m., as things start to wrap up, temperatures will sit near 72. Just keep in mind, humidity is still going to be high for city versus county, so stay hydrated throughout the day to prepare. There's your Fox 56 Weather Authority forecast. Bob, back to you.
Thank you, Allie, and we are ready for football here at Valley View. When we come back, it's the opening lineups and a special presentation to Coach Jack Hens's. It's the city versus the county next.
You're watching the 85th Scranton Lions Club Dream Game presented by Coordinated Health Scranton Orthopedics on MyTV WQMY.
We are back in Peckville. Both teams are lined up on the field for a very special presentation. So let's go down to the field now to Jerry Prosciutti.
Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to midfield as we would like to introduce, in his 40 years, player, coach, and director, Mr. Jerry Prosciutti, as he presents a Lifetime Achievement Award.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Scranton Lions Club, it is an honor for me to present to Coach Jack Hens's the Lifetime Achievement Award. It is the first time in the 85-year history of this Lions Club Dream Game that we're going to honor a man who gave 58 years of his life to coaching athletes from the old Blakely High School, Wyoming Area High School, and the Dunmore Bucks for the past 48 years. He is a legend. I doubt very much if there'll be another man to dedicate his life to the children of this county at the 3 schools that I mentioned. He's a tremendous role model, high character, great family man, great friend, and a role model for every athlete he had the opportunity to work with. It's a really nice idea that he's being honored here on the field where he grew up. His dad was the legendary coach John Henses, who coached me in high school, and Coach Henses' first year here in 1960, I was his boy. His dad was such a tremendous person, and Coach Henses roamed these sidelines while he was a young kid. He played here for 4 years, went on to George Washington University, played quarterback, and the rest, as they say, is history. I can't tell you what a special moment this is for his family, our family, and anybody in this stadium who ever watched Coach Henses coach. He was intense, he had a lot of passion, a lot of heart, and guess what? He loved coaching football. I'm going to read the plaque. Lifetime Achievement Award presented to Jack Henses in recognition of his significant contributions and support of the Scranton Lions Club Dream Game, the community, and the development of student athletes. He was Man of the Year in 2012. He was a city coach 1976, 1981, 1985, 1992, 1998, 2005, and 2014. His 1989 team won the state PIA Class A championship. He had 9 District 2 championships. I'm not going to read all the years, they're in the program. He had 8 Big 11 Eastern Conference football championships. He was a member of the Hall of Fame in the following Hall of Fames: Pennsylvania Sports Hall of Fame, Northeast Chapter; Pennsylvania Sports Hall of Fame; National High School Athletic Coaches Association. His record of 444 wins, 164 losses, and 8 ties is the second in the state of Pennsylvania, next to our good friend George Curry, my teammate at Temple, and Coach Henses' real good buddy. Second in the state. It's an emotional time right now, but I'll tell you, you're never going to find a guy to dedicate what he did for 58 years. And Coach Henses, I love you as a friend, a dear friend, and you deserve every honor you ever achieved. Thank you so much.
Okay. On behalf of my family and myself, I'd like to thank the Lions Club for this great honor. And once again, I owe a lot to my dad, that here's where I played my football, to John Peter Kuski, and of course, to Bob DePippi and many other coaches that I've coached against with. It's been a great experience for me. And once again, let's play football. Take care. Thank you very much.
Let's go out here.
So an honor there, Coach Gaharski. You were good friends with Coach Henses, as well as we are as part of WQMY and MyTV. What a special honor for him to be here tonight after his health issues and to see him just being down here. Now he's going to do the coin toss with our head referee tonight, Jonathan Grande. There you see the captains for the city in the white, and the county will be in the red.
We'll have the coin toss. City, you're the visitor. You're going to call it. Call it in the air. Call is heads. It is a tail. Your choice.
County has won the toss. They will get the ball first. There you see Donnie Blaine from the city in North Pocono, who made the call along with Mason Cordish from Valley View. So let's talk about Coach Hentges. He steps down as Dunmore. They have a new coach there, but your thoughts on his honoring tonight?
He's a remarkable man. I've known Jack for 50 years. I really met him up at Pine Forest Camp in 1969. His character is just unparalleled. And that's probably the thing that I recognize about him. He's a great football coach.
Early light, what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
That is Laura Ushinsky from Valley View, who had a great rendition of tonight's national anthem. Paul Grippy is now going to try and grab Coach Hentges for a quick interview while we get both teams set up for the kickoff tonight. Of course, County won the coin toss, so that means we will see Mason Cordish and the County team. Coach, beautiful night. Glad they waited 24 hours. No rain, and the sun is out.
Absolutely. It's hot, a little humid, but the sun is out, and certainly it's much better than the forecast was last night. And I'm sure that the boys will enjoy playing without the conditions affecting them.
Paul Grippy is now down with Coach Hentges, and Paul, always great to see Coach on the sidelines.
Okay, we saw that flag presentation from Jerry Prosciutti. Now I have Coach Jack Hentges, now retired. We missed you last season on the sidelines. Then you made the announcement after the season that you were going to retire. What was the reaction from the area and from people about your retirement announcement?
Well, I just wanted to make it easier for the Board of Education, and I felt I couldn't do it anymore, so I enjoyed my experience. People in Dunmore have been very good to me no matter where I coach. With my dad here at Blakely High School, and then I was at Wyoming area. People have been super to me, and I enjoyed it. And the athletes work, the student athletes work so very hard for us. So, you know, I'd look back at it. It's been a great experience for me, and I love doing it. Am I going to miss it? Absolutely.
Well,
but other than that, it's time to move on.
And we're going to miss you. I know all over the district, all over the borough of Dunmore, all over Pennsylvania football. Everyone's asking, how's Coach Hentges doing? How's he doing? How is your health? How you've been feeling?
I'm getting better every day. You know, it took me a while, but other than that, every day's a plus for me.
Okay. Well, thank you. Congratulations on a great career. On behalf of the media, you've been a pleasure to deal with all these years. We're going to miss you. Don't be a stranger. We want to see you around all the time, all right?
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Coach Hentges. Congratulations on a great career. Bob?
And we extend our best wishes to Coach Jack Hentges. He will definitely be missed on the Dunmore sidelines this year. So the city team is lining up. That means we will see kicker Alec Butner from Scranton Prep. And for the county,
it's Souder, And Chase Combs.
Yep. Combs and Sodders, coach just said, and we are underway for the 85th annual Scranton Lions Club Dream Game. It's Combs from his 5-a-little trickery, as that's Ingley, number 1, who got the pitch. He's up to the 20-yard line, and that's where we see quarterback Ethan Dunn out of Honesdale. Last season, not really a thrower, but he's threw for over 1,000 yards, 12 touchdowns. He's headed to Keystone College, a very athletic quarterback.
To throw for 1,000 yards is no small means. Again, in high school, certainly we throw the ball a lot more than we did many, many years ago. So we'll see how he's going to do tonight.
So from their own 21, it is the county team in red. So it'll be a standard I formation. Colin Hazelton from Mid-Valley will lead Mason Cordish in the I. Fake to Cordish. Dunn being chased on the outside. And boy, we'll see a lot of Xavier Warner out of Walla-Paulpack.
Yeah,
tracking Dunn down.
Xavier was a real force for Mark Watson's Buckhorns. Coming off the edge, he's tough. He's a big, strong, fast young man.
Here's the kickoff again, trying to get something going. Ingley.
That was Dylan Walk.
Dylan Walk?
Yeah.
Okay.
We have to get used to who's in the red and who's in the white.
Yeah. But we have a penalty. I believe it was an illegal throw downfield. Intentional grounding.
Bob, I think in high school football, they've got to allow the quarterback to get rid of the football when he's outside of the pocket. I mean, it's just for safety purposes more than anything else.
Let's take a look at the starting offense for the county team. It will be Dunn, Cordish, and Hazelton in the backfield. The receivers, Pigeon, Rijos, and Labasso. And up front, nice big line. Connor Judge leading the way. He played here. Sebastian Ellie from Valley View as well. And a couple Old Forge guys up front, including Corey Berrien, 330. Dunn gets to the outside to Suryavong from Old Forge. He's up back to the original line of scrimmage, just past the 21-yard line.
Be 3rd and 9, I believe.
So 3rd down coming up.
We'll see what Dunn can do here on a 3rd down long passing situation.
Dunn is the only quarterback on the roster. Dylan Walk will get some time in there. And when I asked Dunn about that, he was excited. He wants to play football. He's going to play at Keystone. And, boy, anytime you can be the only quarterback, you're going to get a lot of reps, right?
That's true.
So he'll be lined up in the shotgun. Hazelton will be next to him. And 4 wideouts in there now for the county team. Man-to-man, you have to play. Throw it a little low, trying to get it to the outside.
To Duplessis.
Jaden Duplessis out of Valley View. And our first punt of the night will be coming up. Andy Carroll will do the punting for the county team. A couple of Scranton guys will be back there, it looks like. Ronald Brown and Zakeem Vassell. One from West and one from Scranton. So you got to get the bugs out, some jitters, and you haven't played football in how many months, so it takes a little bit to get going here.
The county was a man short, and they had walked him on late. Rios from Old Forge.
So not much of a rush. Carroll off the side of his foot, and it's going to take a nice bounce. But the City team will get the ball in very good position at their own 49-yard line. And here we go, and we'll see that quarterback, Donnie Blaine. Blaine gets a start from North Pocono. He's thrown for over 5,000 yards in his career, 1,600 of those last year. He's headed to Division II Kutztown.
He's had a great career, and I know, very excited. I talked to him during track season. He's very excited about the opportunity to go to Kutztown, and there's some younger players ahead of him, but he said, listen, I'm going to do my best I can and wait my turn.
Joe Ingley will dot the I. Jeremy Frick from Holy Cross is the fullback. Option, Blaine. A couple yard gain, 2 yards on the play. knocked down by Duffy from Valley View, number 67.
Duffy on the stop.
All throughout the 4 years that Donnie Blaine's played, he's been asked to use his feet. He's not only an effective passer, but he's a very good runner as well.
You mentioned in the pregame about the passing, but both these offenses that they run at Honesdale and Susquehanna, they don't pass a lot.
No, and they only had a few days at practice to get some things in. But typically, my approach would be to keep it as simple as possible.
No gain from Ingley. Here is the city offense. Blaine, Ingley, and Rowe were in the backfield. Wallenpaupack and Susquehanna in there. The receivers, starting like this, pretty good ones too. Dan Walsh, Michael Greco, and Zakeen Vassell at West Scranton. And up front, they're pretty big. T.J. Holmes with Scranton Prep. He'll be the center. He's headed to Bloomsburg. Wallenpaupack, big guys on the left-hand side.
The city averages about 285 in their offensive front.
So on third down, Blaine in the shotgun. A four-man rush to the outside, and can't get that connection. And the city now will be forced to punt. And that'll be Butner who will come out with a good leg. Kind of what we expect in an all-star game, right, Coach?
Yeah, their timing certainly leaves a little bit to be desired. And once they get the wrinkles out of their bellies, hopefully they'll be far more effective in their execution.
Duplessis and Suryavong are back, and Suryavong, one of those threats throughout his career. He had 8 touchdowns on kickoff returns, and we've seen him take a punt or two back as well. So Butner from his own 40. Again, you can't really rush. You're not going to block any punts with the all-star rules set in place here. Again, you can't really rush, so it doesn't matter. And the kick will hit that turf and die just past the 32-yard line, and the county team in red will be back up. Here, the defense for the county, the starters. Wargo from Old Forge and Duffy on the outside. Sims, a big boy, along with Lowly from Delaware Valley, the only representative from the Warriors. The linebackers, Braid, Usher, and Jones, boy, Trayon Jones, and all stayed around the outside. And the defensive backs look like this couple Valley View guys there, Combs and Duplessis. So Dunn underneath center, tied into the left. Cordish's first toss of the night, and he'll go nowhere, about a yard gain. If that, a swarm of white shirts in the way.
One of the things about Mason Cordish that sets him apart from a lot of runners is that he really tries to set up his cuts rather than just getting the ball and running as fast as he can to a point A. He's waiting, he's looking for an opening, and he's going to slash into that opening as effectively as he possibly can.
Cordish headed to Wilkes, I believe, to play the next level for him, and representing his family very well. His dad played and uncle played in this.
There's a history here, and of course with a lot of the Valley View kids, there's legacies that go back for quite a number of years.
4 wideouts now. Dunn back, nice rush, good pass to the outside, hits Walk. Walk with a first down and sheds a tackle and inside city territory up to the 47-yard line.
But that's what
and
you want to do.
And a 13-yard gain. Sorry, Coach.
Just simple, an out cut by the outside receiver. Remember, everybody's manned up, so there's single coverage there. And, of course, all defensive backs are told, don't get beat deep.
That's a Pocono Transportation first down for the county team. That was a nice pass from Dunn to the outside. Can't blitz, and it's man-to-man in the secondary for the defense. Take a look at the rules shortly. Quick snap to Hazelton. He gets it from Dunn, and Hazelton, 2,000-yard rusher in his career, 27 touchdowns. Played a little basketball. He'll play football at Kings next year.
Just a quick trap. You know, Bob, sometimes all we need is an opportunity for a young man to play quarterback and an opportunity to throw the ball.
Rios coming to the near side. Suryavong from Old Forge as well to the far side. We have a flag, I believe, of an illegal procedure on the outside, but there's our guy again, Warner, taking down Dunn for a loss, so he may decline this penalty.
He's tough to block. He's very athletic. Did a great job in track for Mark McHugh's track team up at Wallenpaupack. He's big, rangy, and again, he got a lot of sacks during the course of the season.
It's an honor to be a referee in this game as well. There's the list. Jonathan Grande will tell us what this flag will be and if they will take it or not.
And there appears to be a changing of the guard with the officials. There's a lot of new officials that are
Illegal formation. Offense. Penalty has been declined. Third down.
So the loss of 7 goes back, and here's a list of the rules. And if your team is up by 9, or you're losing by 9, you get the ball back after a kick. If you're trailing by 9 at the end of halftime, you get the ball back. We saw that a couple years ago. Both teams, again, we mentioned, play the 4-3, 6-man front. No blitzes, secondary man-to-man. You have to huddle, no empty sets, and you can't block the punt or the extra point and field goal. So made for scoring, right?
Exactly. This is not just a game. It's a little form of entertainment. There's Warner again coming off the edge.
Man. Good comeback. What a job by Pigeon. And a great throw from Dunn up to the 29-yard line.
That was great communication there, Bob, between quarterback and receiver.
24-yard gain. Let's look at it again.
There he is. The Connor Judge is playing that he's going to have a tough time with Warner. Warner's a lot quicker.
So a little drive now going for the county team. Just about under 6 minutes to play here in the Dream Game. Sponsored by Coordinated Health, Scranton Orthopedics. Back to Cordish, gets a block. Up inside the 25 to the 23. And Coach Hens had to do a little sidestep to get out of the way of that.
This run was a good example of what Mason Cordish does. You watch him here, he gets to the perimeter, and then he just takes his little time. He's looking for that opening, and he puts his foot in the ground, and there he goes for another 3 or 4 yards.
Kind of like the rules we have to huddle, and especially in this day and age where there is a no huddle, right? I mean, teams want to play fast-paced, and we'll see that in the regular season with some teams in high school. But here you want to make sure both teams are equal and have a good game. And
exactly. I mean, it's a game that's designed to entertain as well as show the athletic prowess of these young men.
Cordish, yard gain, good defensive stop on the inside by George Mesko out of Dunmore, headed to Temple. Won't play football, but had a great career there. 60 tackles at Dunmore last year, number 5 did.
You know, one of the characteristics of this game, Bob, that really is interesting is that for a lot of these young men, this is the last football game they're ever going to play. So it's going to be memorable for them, and they want to do their best they possibly can and showcase themselves.
Well, something interesting now to think of, if the county can't get this on 3rd down, Chakotay has a good leg here at Valley View.
Yes, he does.
Straight quarterback. Oh, Walk was in at quarterback, and Walk with a move. Walk inside the 10, 1st and goal, county, and a late flag for a late hit. Add on to that, and we're in business for the county team. Dylan Walk out of Western Wayne.
The Walks have a legacy at Western Wayne. He's got 2 brothers that have played in this game prior to this year, and he's been very versatile. He's played some quarterback as well as being a receiver.
Personal defense, penalty will be enforced half the distance from the goal line to the goal line. First down.
Add a couple yards on that, and county's in business.
3-yard line.
Half the distance to the goal, be first down and goal.
So the big offensive line doing a nice job up front. Power eye. Andy Carroll from Honesdale, about a yard short.
Well, the city will be in a 6-man front according to the rules.
Yep.
on the stop for the city.
So Warner and Guerrero, Smith, Overholtz up front. Also see TJ Holmes in there from Scranton Prep at right just about off guard, number 68. So the big guys are up front. Dunn keeps it. What a move. Can he get to the outside for the touchdown? No signal, he does. He gets the ball over. The County's on the board. They had a chance to get him, Coach.
Yeah, they did. They were able to get to that corner.
Looked like Vassell had a chance at him.
Just froze him, stutter step. And Roto Brown was there late.
That was actually number 2 in there. Roto Brown out of Scranton who chased down Dunn, but Dunn got the ball over. And our first score of the night is on, and the County leads 6-0. Chakotay in for the extra point. And the kick is up, and it is good. So 3:17 left in the first quarter. The County takes the 7-0 lead. Matt Birney Honda is proud to support the 85th annual Scranton Lions Club Dream Game. Visit mattbirneyhonda.com or stop by our showroom at 1110 Wyoming Avenue in Scranton to find the Honda that's right for you. Back in Peckville, the County with a nice 9-play, 68-yard drive. Coach, and a lot started with that one pass, and it ended on the ground.
Yeah, Dunn did a great job, both throwing and running, and certainly the line did a good job as well.
Chakotay down.
That's Vassell.
Yep, that is Vassell out of West Scranton. Nice moves in there down to the 31. And it'll be Donnie Blaine now leading the way. Starts from the shotgun, has running room. Makes a nice move, and Blaine for about 7 yards on that off to the left-hand side.
Again, good coverage downfield. Remind the audience that there's a man-for-man rule, and that's something that a lot of these young men haven't done, play straight man.
Blaine on his career threw for over 5,000 yards and 46 touchdowns. A Denver Broncos fan, and likes to hunt and fish in his spare time. We'll have his coach Dolan in the second half. Out to Vassell. Nice cut to the inside again. Vassell going the wrong way. Oh, now the ball's on the turf, and that was exciting, and Trayon Jones recovers it. Well, Zakeem Vassell was just trying to do a little bit too much, trying to show off maybe a little bit, and Trayon Jones is there to scoop up the ball.
Yeah, not every play is designed to go the distance, and Vassell tried to make so many moves. The ball was out away from his body.
So Trayon Jones scoops it up. Vassell, had great yardage, and if he went down, he had a first down. Instead, just tried to keep on moving.
The object of this game is to go forward.
Yes. That's true. That's true, and he did not. Never go backwards, all right? Never go backwards.
Well, I won't say never, but you got to be careful about that.
Well, County gets the first turnover of the game at the 31-yard line on the city 31. Dunn with the fake is going to go to Duplessis against Brown. Oh, Duplessis, what a fantastic catch into the end zones, and it's a County touchdown.
Bob, I was standing here saying this is a great time to throw the fade. And Duplessis made a great catch. Again, aggressively going up to catch the football.
31 yards, and I'm impressed with Dunn's talent here. And Duplessis against Brown, that was a great matchup, but you called it.
The coverage was there, except the guy wearing number 12 just out leaped. You got to know where the ball is when you're playing in the secondary. You don't know where the ball is, you're at a disadvantage.
So 2 touchdowns in a row, all off a turnover, and the County looking to take a 14-0 lead with 2:38 left. Chakotay in. The extra point is good as expected, and maybe a bit of a stunner. The city won last year, but the County's coming back. They want to get revenge, and they are so far.
Well, we're playing at Valley View Stadium, John Hens's Memorial Stadium. 2 Cougars did very well that series. Trayon Jones recovering a fumble, and Jaden Duplessis making a sensational catch for a touchdown.
Tonight's presenting sponsor is Coordinated Health, Scranton Orthopedics, dedicated orthopedic surgeons and specialists. Located at 334 Main Street in Dixon City.
Bob, if we were to give a player of the quarter, I think Ethan Dunn would be the man that is high up there on the list.
Yeah. So far, Ethan Dunn's done a nice job with 2 great throws, including that touchdown, and 1 to Pigeon. And then gets a touchdown. So, right, the Honesdale kid.
The one to Pigeon was really impressive.
Chakotay set to kick off for County.
Who wants to go on an all-inclusive cruise to Mexico with Penn State football heroes? Sponsor one family in need right now for just $100 at outreachworks.org, and you'll be entered to win. So who can you go on a cruise with? It will be from March 19th to March 14th. Coach, how about Franco Harris, O.J. McDuffie, Brandon Short, Jeff Hardings, to name a few? They'll be on the cruise, and you can win 2 tickets right now just by going to outreachworks.org. Booming kick to Ingley in the end zone, and boy, we didn't talk. We have 2 great kickers here tonight.
Yes,
we really do.
Chakotay has had a great career here this past year, particularly.
Here's Vassal's replay again, and I didn't see who stripped the ball from him.
No, I didn't see it either. But Trayon's always around the football.
Yeah.
Give him a lot of credit for being there.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Jones had 121 tackles last year, and 23 of those for a loss, and he was a main reason why we talked about Valley View went 13-1.
Well, he
won back-to-back state district titles.
He played outside linebacker, and in doing so, he was tough to defend or to block because he would be sent off different areas of the defensive set, and he showed a lot of quickness.
He was at one time a running back, I believe, when in the beginning. Offsides there you see against the County team.
Still first down.
Yeah, I believe he was going to be a starter as a sophomore and got hurt.
And then a couple running backs came in.
Right.
And they moved him to defense, and he flourished.
Yes, he did. He did get a couple of touches at tailback.
Yep, he did.
Not many, though.
So Ingley in there, dotting the I, and they'll give it to the fullback in there. Looks like Jeremy Frick. Nope, they give it to 21. That's Adam Rowe out of Susquehanna. Trying to see the helmets here. That's how you can tell. And of course, a lot of these kids have swapped stickers.
Yeah, it is very difficult to tell whose helmet it actually is.
So a couple yards on that, and second down on the way. Blaine with a lot of time is going to go air it out to Greco. Michael Greco out of Scranton Prep couldn't catch up to that. Falls incomplete. Here's
again, it looked like Greco slowed down a little bit in the midpoint of that route.
Kobe Sauter, number 21 out of Western Wayne on the coverage back there. Kobe headed to Lycoming. Third down. Well, option again, Ingley. Chased. What a great stop by Noah Bray for Abington Heights. Loss of 1 and brings up fourth down. Braid headed to Rochester. 161 tackles last year for the Comets. He did a nice job stringing that one out. Right now, the county just seems like they want it a little bit more than the city.
Yeah, the city's back on their heels. Their run game has been unsuccessful, and they have not been able to connect too often with their passing game.
So Alec Butner from Scranton Prep will come in, and I believe that's we got a flag down. Somebody was moving, ball wasn't snapped, and that's, again, a lot of these kids didn't play special teams as seniors last year.
Legal substitution. Okay.
So there you hear it.
Legal substitution. Offense, 5-yard penalty, still 4th down.
Soriavong and Duplessis are deep.
5-yard penalty on the play brings up 4th down and 11.
It's a big return here, Bob. Will back up the city defense.
Absolutely, and even though Butner has a nice leg, the county is going to get decent field position out of this possession. The lefty with a line drive. Soriavong takes it. What a move. Ooh and ahs in the stands. Almost broke it. And that's what we like to see from Tommy Soriavong out of Old Forge. County has the ball, in city territory at their 49.
Soriavong is an exciting player. He makes things happen on the offense, on special teams, and as a pass receiver.
First and 10 county for the city's 49.
And there is Tommy Soriavong. And our condolences go to him as he lost his grandmother about a week and a half ago. His grandmother, Keo, passed away. But he's still here playing for her tonight.
Yeah, it was said in the paper that he's playing for her, that she was behind him all the way.
Of course, Tommy's brother Lex has played last year, and he will play football at Kings. And big hit on Cordish, can't get away from Tyler Overholtz out of Dunmore, and also Chance Smith. Flag down though.
Those are big bodies. Smith is in around that 300 mark.
So no gain on the play. And another flag down. Of course, there are coaches upstairs watching every play.
Dead ball, personal foul, offense. Dead ball, personal foul, defense. Penalties will offset. Second.
Probably a little bit jawing, right? A little bit talking down on the field, a little trash talk. So a loss of 1 by Cordish. And as I was saying, there are coaches up here watching this game, and they will relay information if someone is breaking the rules. So
right, exactly. There's no slanting, no blitzing on the defense.
They're in the huddle a long time. 10 seconds on the play clock, just about 20 on the game clock. It's been all county here in the first quarter.
Walk is at the quarterback spot.
Look for a run here. Little short pass and threads the needle to Rios. And Rios gains about 7.
That's going to be the quarter.
And that should just about do it. So the county has come into Valley View wanting to play. They lead the city after 14-0. At Northeastern Rehabilitation Associates, all of our physicians are board certified in physical medicine and rehabilitation. We specialize in non-surgical care of low back, neck or joint pain, concussions, and sports-related injuries. Our offices are conveniently located in Scranton and Wilkes-Barre. Call to schedule an appointment or visit us at www.nerehab.com. Second quarter underway, and it's 14-0. Bob Ide, Stan Kaharski in the booth on a pleasant evening for football. A nice large crowd on hand No rain in sight, and good call last night to postpone this game, and I think the crowd has come out in support, as they always do, with our local players. So the county with the lead, and Cordish to the outside, breaks a tackle, and picks up a block, and picks up a first down. Get about 9 yards for Mason Cordish, and county line doing a nice job.
That's one of Cordish's characteristics. He just makes people miss. It's hard to get a real good shot on him, and the first tackler almost never brings him down.
We are joined in the booth, as we always are during these games, with a coach that led his team to the state finals. How's that sound? Steve Jervis from Lackawanna Trail. Boy, what a season you had last year. You have time to think about it now and really dig deep. What was that like?
Well, first of all, Bob, thank you so much for having me on, and Stan, you guys do a wonderful job with this game. Last year was definitely something pretty special. I know it's something that I know I'll never forget, and hopefully our players don't. I think they made some memories that they'll remember for a long time as well.
There's no way that they'll ever forget this 2018 season. Your team played spectacularly. I was there at the state final, and that first touchdown that you scored, I'm sure that's something that your kids will never forget as well.
Yeah, obviously we were hoping things would have turned out a little differently, but Farrell was something else. And, you get that turnover early on, and, when we scored, the eruption behind me, it was so special, the community support on that run and the amount of people that made that trip. Our superintendent gave us the day off of school, and I think almost all Lackawanna Trail was there that day, and it was, a lot of good things.
Steve, how many seniors graduated from Trail? Not just football players, but seniors.
Well, last year we did a kind of a small class. I think we graduated 57 kids at graduation a couple weeks ago. So definitely quality over quantity, I would say, at Lackawanna Trail.
Well, that's why I think you've done a remarkable job in developing that program over the past number of years. Your numbers are steady. And it is what it is. You have only a certain number of boys in the school, and to get them to play and to play at that high level and be successful, I tip my hat to you.
Thank you so much, Dan. I think it says a lot about, again, the parents, the tradition. Lackawanna Trail football has had a good tradition well before I got there, and I think now we're reaping the benefits of a lot of kids whose fathers played there and uncles, and and they kind of want to uphold that standard. We always talk about we represent ourselves and our family and our community, and I think our kids take that seriously.
Even some of the fathers that played at Lakeland send their kids to Trail.
Yeah, we were very glad that John Rokel sent his boys over to Lackawanna Trail.
Ethan Dunn connects on a 3rd down and 6 play. Coming up was Tom Pigeon, and they'll be inside the red zone, and it's a Pocono Transportation 1st down for the county.
Ethan Dunn is the difference right now. He's playing very, very well. Throwing the ball very well, evading from would-be tacklers. And, Bob, if I asked you to pick one of the two quarterbacks that was going to have this kind of game early on, would it be Ethan Dunn?
Probably not. Probably, I would have said Nate Roca, but we haven't even seen him yet. But Donnie Blaine. But, no, Ethan Dunn under the Honesdale offense is doing a nice job. And, Pigeon's doing a nice job coming back for the ball as well.
That's what's impressive. The 2 passes that they've completed, the receivers working back towards the quarterback. That's good coaching on the part of their high school coaches.
This is Nick Videla out of Carbondale off the right side. And Videla, he rushed for over 2,000 yards in his career with the Chargers and 25 touchdowns.
Steve, how's your preseason been going?
Great, thank you, Stan, for asking. I think we did practice a lot last year. When you play 16 weeks, you get a lot of extra practice time. So I think a lot of our younger kids are going to reap the benefit of that. We do welcome back some good kids. Obviously, we have some big shoes to fill. Nico Barrios is moving from wide receiver. He was a 2-way starter for us last year. He'll be playing quarterback. We do have our leading rusher comes back in Ray Melnikoff. He was only a sophomore last year.
Impressive player.
Yeah, he's got a lot of potential, but he's something else. And Jeffrey Resto does return in the backfield as well. 2-way starter, Mark Dunkel at tackle and D tackle. So, we have some pieces. Now it's just, how quickly we can get some more young guys from our freshman team to really get up to speed.
So Videla takes a nice hit on the outside. A flag comes in, and we've seen a lot of the yellow on the ground tonight early on.
That looked like it was back at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
It looks like a hole possibly.
So this one will be coming back.
Holding, offense, 10-yard penalty.
Steve, do you have anything to tell us about the State Coaches Association? Anything that of importance that our coaches need to know? I know you'll tell them at Media Day.
Yeah, Stan, I think, we have a very strong coaches association in Pennsylvania. There's a lot of, we try to keep our coaches in the area abreast of all the new things coming up. Definitely the boundary versus non-boundary. That's been getting a lot of talk lately, and just trying to level the playing field as much as possible, for the teams as they move through. Into the state playoffs. Again, I think we're fortunate in our area. We have a lot of great, both our public and our private schools do a wonderful job. But in some of the bigger cities, I think that might be more of a concern, or for teams that are moving further into the state playoffs.
Oh, that's going to be a flag. Surya Vong, the intended receiver, and Jordan Edwards maybe came a little bit too early from trail.
Yeah. Jordan might got the low step too early that time. He's aggressive, though. I got to give him credit.
That's it. You go to break up the ball. You got there just a second early.
So that will be a first down for the county team.
Pass interference. Defense, 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Second down.
So 10 yards on that. Let's see where they mark it.
Pass interference is the call against the city.
10 yards, and City looking pretty good. Dan Bellardi in there. Should say TJ Holmes is in there now playing on defense out of Scranton Prep. Also, Warner's out there still. He's been playing a great game on that side of the ball.
He had a good first quarter. Put a lot of pressure on Ethan Dunn.
Guerrero is in there still, I think. Bailey Larrell, number 66. And, boy, he's an interesting cat as well. Class president at West Scranton. And Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute.
RPI.
That's where yep, RPI.
It's right up there with the Ivy League schools.
He wants aerospace engineer, and hopefully Paul will
Can you
talk
spell?
to this
Can you spell that aerospace?
RPI. Oh, they're going to tell me to spell RPI. Yeah,
I couldn't. That's why I'm asking.
Boy, a smart kid there. And there you see all the players participating in tonight's 85th annual Lions Club Dream Game, and what an honor for them just to be selected and to play. Maybe for some of them, as Coach mentioned, some of their last football ever.
Yeah, it's a bittersweet night for some of these kids.
So 2nd and 4 officially. Cordish looking for his blocks and does a nice job inside the 10. It'll be close to a first down.
He's as patient a runner as you'll find in high school. He just bides his time. He waits for a little bit of a gap to open up, and he's able to pick up 3-4 yards. He has the mentality that not every play is going to go to the goal line, which I think is a trait that a lot of backs need to adapt.
I think one of the unique parts of this All-Star game are the big schools and the small schools. They combine to make a team, and it's kind of cool for the coaches because we talked to both coaches, and some of these players they don't see in the regular season.
Right.
And then they see them up front, they're like, wow, they're pretty big, or they're pretty fast. And you're like, yeah,
Well, that's the transition from high school to college.
Yep. Basically, this is a freshman football game in college. A lot of these kids will play next year. Cordish now with Hazelton leading the way, trying to get the corner.
Patient, so patient.
To the 1. 7-yard gain.
So it'll be 2nd and 1.
Knocked out of bounds, number 13, Dale Moore.
So, Steve, have you coached in this yet?
Yes, in 2010.
Okay.
What a great opportunity. They really do everything. It's so well run, so well organized, and I think we're coming up. There's kind of a rotation that goes on with it. So I believe we're coming up in a couple of years here.
It's a good experience. I mean, especially for coaches, they get to see kids in a different light. It's not like they're the opponents, that they're part of our program tonight. And I know you build, even in 4 or 5 days, you build a little bit of a relationship with some kids that'll be lasting for a while.
Definitely. You'd love to see it, that rivals during the season. Really, the kids really get along well. Like you're saying, some of those kids end up being buddies for a long time, follow each other's college careers and whatnot, and some great relationships are made.
I'm glad the weather has cooperated. It is a little muggy, it's a little hot, but it's certainly a lot better than it was going to be last night.
Yeah, great call. I think, obviously you want to keep something like this. It's planned for so long, but I think it was a great decision moving it.
Thanks to Coordinated Health, Scranton Orthopedics Walk-in Injury Center. You don't need to wait for hours in the ER for orthopedic issues like back pains, strains, sprains, and fractures. Just walk in and see the region's top orthopedic specialist without the hassle or cost of the ER. For more information, go to scrantonortho.com. And I hate to say it, but I've been there several times with my son. But that's what happens.
They have a number of my body parts in that building.
So we thank them and Bill Dempsey from the Scranton Lions Club, getting our sponsor here tonight. Steve Jervis from Lackawanna Trail in the booth with Stan Koharski and Bob Ide. Paul Grippy on the sidelines, hoping to get him in shortly. Right now, it's a 2nd and goal from the 1. Power I. Another flag. It's a movement up front, Coach, huh?
Yes, it looks that way. Illegal procedure.
Looks like my man a little too anxious.
Yeah.
I'm impressed with the size of the linemen. They keep getting bigger, it seems, every year we do this game.
Ball.
Well, not just here.
Ball start, offense, 5-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
In a lot of the games that you and I did last year, Bob, we were both flabbergasted by the size of the offensive lines on teams down in District 4 particularly. It's like a young college team. Amazing.
And, Coach, that's one, you have to praise your offensive line. You've had some big guys up there as well last couple of years, and that's one of the reasons why you get to a final.
Well, definitely, Bob, and not only how big they are, but they got to be have the right mentality, be quick and be strong. The one thing I really praised our kids last year, we really didn't have that's necessarily the biggest line, but boy, we did have some tough kids up front.
Dylan Walk gets a block from Hazelton out of Mid-Valley, and it's another county touchdown. And they're starting to blow this one away.
Steve, you
we have a
yourself
flag down, another flag.
As a coach,
yep, go ahead.
That you live and die with your offensive line. When I was coaching as a head coach or even as a position coach, I used to talk about my skill kids, and it wasn't the wide receivers or the backs. It was those guys wearing the 50s to 79s that were playing in that box. They'll carry you or they'll kill you. One or the
Oh
other.
my gosh, so true. We always talk about the game of football kind of starts from the football outwards, and being good on the O line and the D line is so critical. And especially on the offensive line, where you can get 5 or 6 kids who really gel together and really, we run the wing T where it's a lot of angle blocking and pulling and they really have to work well together. It really doesn't matter how good individually. It obviously helps to be a good player, but when they really start working together, it's
well, they're a team within a team.
That's all right.
I mean,
Without a doubt.
and they take a lot of pride together because they work hard. They help each other out. They'll correct each other's mistakes, and as long as they're approaching the game positively, they're going to carry your team.
Yep, without a doubt.
Back to this game, 2nd and 14 from the 14 after the holding call. Dunn back in. Blocked at the line of scrimmage and almost picked off.
Looking to slant the ball to Rios. Well, Ethan Dunn's only listed at about 5'10", 5'11". I'm not sure he's quite that tall.
Yeah, Larrero got his hand on that. Class president Bailey Larrero out of West Scranton High School.
And he devoted a lot of his time to community service over in West Scranton. And again, you need to applaud a young man with that type of character.
So after a drive that looked impressive to extend this lead, the county has stalled a little bit. And it'll bring up a 3rd down. So 4 wideouts now in there. 2 guys from Old Forge on the left. Valley View and Lakeland on the right. Fumble snap. Dunn picks it up. And this one's blocked by Videla and knocked down incomplete, and we'll have our first field goal of the evening. So after all that, we will see this one again. A lot of stuff going on, Coach.
Yeah, it certainly was. Snap was a little bit to the right. Dunn didn't adjust to it. see
did
he's
have
looking
the,
for a receiver.
Yeah, he had the wherewithal to pick it up and
Yeah, he
do
did.
something with it, right? Okay, so this will be Chakotay from Valley View. He was 4 for 8 last year. For field goals, he has a decent leg. His long was 43 yards. No rush, and it is up and no good.
Wide left.
So on that, 14-0 County would throw a timeout here. 7:34 left in the half here at the 85th Annual Lions Club Dream Game.
You're watching the 85th Scranton Lions Club Dream Game presented by Coordinated Health Scranton Orthopedics on MyTV WQMY.
Okay, back here at John Henses Stadium, and we saw some defense on that drive. The city prevented the county from scoring, playing defensive back. Dale Moore from the city from North Pocono. How did you feel about holding them scoreless on that drive?
It felt great just to give our offense another chance and to stop them from getting that field goal. It feels really good to just try and get us some points on the board.
Okay, yeah, you guys are in a bit of a hole, so that comes up big for you guys. North Pocono, 4 players on the roster. Tell me what it's been like, your experience with North Pocono football the past few years.
The past few years at North Pocono football has been amazing. Winning the district championship, and then coming back next year and just keep fighting in the playoffs. Coach Stone's great coach. 4 players here with me, greatest players that I've had in my life.
That's great to hear. Well, you're joining another team in the fall. You enlisted in the Army, an admirable decision. What's the plan? When do you report, and what will that be like?
I enlisted in the Army. I leave for basic training August 6th. I go down to Fort Benning, Georgia.
And why did you decide that that was what you wanted to do with your future?
I love my family, I love my country, and it's my duty to serve it.
All right, well, congratulations.
Thank
We're
you.
all proud of you, and get out there and knock some helmets, all right?
Thank you very
Dale
much.
Moore, defensive back from the city, Bob.
Great job, Dale, and good luck in the United States Army. And thank you, Paul, for that. So a couple plays and a first down. It was Ruggieri from Walton Paulpack who had the carry. 5:41 left in this second quarter and a half. 14-0 County. Steve Jervis from Lackawanna Trail in the booth with Stan Kaharski and Bob Ide. And your quarterback, Nathan Roca, gets his first appearance.
Yeah, it's like flashbacks, you know, it's like we're back to last season watching Nate out there. It's going to be weird calling plays this year. You know, he's been our starter for the last 4 years, so, obviously spent a lot of time with him, game planning, and great kid, great family, and that whole group of seniors, just can't say enough about, what they did, for our program and, for our community, and just a good group of kids.
Steve, I said to Bob in pregame that one of the unusual factors in this game is that the 2 quarterbacks for the city are 4-year starters. You don't find that. And again, you can't replace experience. As a freshman, you may make mistakes. You just learn from them, and you're just getting better and better and better. And that's what these 2 young men did. So I'm sure you're happy with the way Nathan evolved.
Oh, you're exactly right, Stan. And matter of fact, last year, not only do we have Nathan, who was a 4-year starter, kind of, running our offense, Jordan Edwards was also a 4-year starter at free safety, making our checks and things. And, that experience, again, there's no better substitution to just have that experience, and especially in the big-time games. I mean, they were there as sophomores when they won the district championship, and so I think that kind of makes the stage not as big as far as going down the road and playing some teams from out of our area. The moment wasn't too big for those kids.
And I think it sets a little bit of an example for kids in the program or in the school that, you don't have to be a senior to start. You just come out and we're going to, our job is to coach you, is to teach you and make you a better player and a better person. And if they can buy into that, that's good. And Nate and Donnie Blaine did that for both of their programs.
Yes, you're exactly right, Stan.
So 3rd down on the field at 8. Roca trying to get his team a first down, maybe back into this game. Back to the outside, and well covered was Greco, and what great defense by Dylan Walk from Western Wayne. He was draped over Greco. I mean, really draped. And then we have a flag down.
There's offensive holding.
Yep, I think they will decline it, the county. And it will be a punt for the city. So the city offense
has
a bit of a
sputtered.
funk. Yeah,
has sputtered.
Has sputtered, yeah.
Again, it's difficult in 4 or 5 days of practice to to get your timing and your execution, and of course for your, particularly for your linemen to be comfortable with the blocking schemes. I'm sure both coaches kept it as simple as they possibly had to.
So Soriavong, Duplessis back to receive, Butner's kick. High end of her end, and comes back a bit. And Edwards, Jordan Edwards from Lackawanna Trail will pick it up. County has the team at their 44. Coach, you mentioned Media Day coming up. Couple weeks. That's the Lackawanna County Media Day for the Lackawanna League that you graciously have put together. I don't know how many years, right?
This is the 10th year.
10th season, and it's great for the media. It's great for the kids to see us. We can talk to them one-on-one and see the coaches, and it really gets us pumped for football. That will be July 31st.
31st.
And it's right around the corner.
It certainly is, and I'm waiting for the coaches to respond that they're coming. I got one response so far. But yeah, it is. It's really evolved into something that I think has been very beneficial to our kids, more so than anything else. It's given District 2 and Lackawanna football a little bit bigger stage, and I really appreciate the cooperation I get from the coaches.
Done with a low pass out to Walk. Can't pick it up off the turf. Goes incomplete.
Yeah, back to Media Day. It definitely it's a big help for the coaches too. I think as far as the dream game kind of gets the football juices flowing again, and then that day it's nice to talk to all the media and kind of get things working, and then you can kind of just focus on football after that during your next 2 weeks of camp and stuff. So we really appreciate what Stanley does with that.
Well, again, it's something that I picked up from some of the other coaches I worked with in the State Coaches Association. And Steve, I need to really commend you for picking up the mantle and carrying on, hopefully, the legacy that other district directors, District 2 directors have developed. I was involved with the State Coaches Association for almost 30 years, and it's a great group. And again, it's done for the kids. It's done for the promotion of coaches' programs. And as long as I can do it, I'm going to do it. And like I said before, it's a great thing for the kids to see each other.
Yes, and back to the Coaches Association. I think we do a great job. I give credit, Stanley, obviously, when you were there, and there were a lot of great coaches before me. Joe Repshis has done a great job. He's kind of one from Abington Heights who kind of got me involved in it. And it really does. You start to realize that, District 2, in Scranton and Wilkes-Barre, we do have a great voice in the Coaches Association. And, Dick Bagnall from Susquehanna was in the Hall of Fame last year. We have players, a lot of times in the state games, the East-West game and the Big 33 game, in every year. And so it's nice to see that our coaches and our players are being represented in statewide as well.
Well, Steve, that's a good point. I know when I started, I think it was probably in the mid-'80s as a district representative, our district was ignored, to be honest with you. And, one of my goals and objectives was to get our coaches recognized, to get our players into the Big 33 game, and to just be an advocate for District 2 and particularly the Lackawanna Football Conference. And as we can see over the last number of years, we've had our coaches coach in the East-West game. We've had a lot of our players go to the East-West game. Players go to the Big 33 game. So it's a great organization, and our role is to fight for our kids.
Yes, you got it, Stan. Exactly right.
So back on the field, nice stop by the city. A little trickery as they tried to get Carroll to throw the ball downfield, but Brown, who was back deep. Had good coverage on that.
That play should never work if you're man-to-man.
Yeah, no, and it didn't.
Got to be disciplined, right?
Oh, so Carroll off the side of his foot. City will get the ball just past the 35, down 14. Plenty of time. Let's see if Coach Cook now wants to air it out a little bit and get his team back into this one.
They're fortunate to be down only to 2 scores, so there's certainly plenty of time. There's almost 3 minutes to go in this quarter and in the final 2 periods for them to come back. But they've got to sustain some offense. They got to get a little bit of a rhythm. They haven't had much of a rhythm.
No, not at all. I'm not even sure on the number of first downs. I'll check that at the half. But the County definitely has come out to play. A couple nice passes from Dunn. He has 2 passes, Ethan does. One for a touchdown. And he ran one in as well. So Nathan Roca from Lackawanna Trail will be the quarterback still.
Steve, did Nathan ever give any consideration to being a college quarterback, or is it just baseball?
You know, I think he definitely, he's very talented, obviously. He had a lot of options, and that's, kudos to him. And he and I talked about it a lot. The one, obviously playing baseball is probably a little, he's a pitcher. He throws very hard. He's clocked at 91, 92 off the mound. And after 4 years, might be a little easier on the body than playing 4 years of college football. So I think either way, it was a win-win for Nate. And I think, plus having the opportunity to go to Delaware where his dad did, I think that would kind of had a lot to do with his decision.
Well, that's good. That's good. And I guess he is a very, very good pitcher.
Yeah, he throws hard.
Well, I never saw Roca trying to run the option, got walloped there. And then, so the city not going to air it out. They're going to just try to grind it out, I guess. While the city has the ball, let's see if Paul Grippy now is ready with our friend from West Scranton. Paul, go ahead. Who do you have?
All right, so the defense for the city comes up with 2 blanks of the county. You guys did get yourself in a hole. What's the defense been thinking since then?
So the defense, we've been really, things haven't been going our way right off the bat, but, we're really sticking together, keeping it tight, and we're doing what we have to do to, get out here and get off the field. It's a big team effort, and we're all sticking together out there.
Okay, I should say your name. You're Bailey Lorero, West Scranton defensive line. All right, what's the experience of the Dream Game been like for you, practice, getting to know these guys?
The experience has been really, we're really sticking together, keeping it tight, and I've played against my entire life without really even knowing them. And over the last 9 days, we've really became good friends. And we're out here fighting together one last time to, try to bring a victory for the city tonight.
Okay, and you had a terrific career at West Scranton, class president, now on to bigger things, attending RPI. What you study up there?
So I'm going to school for aerospace engineering at RPI.
You're going to slack off with that, right?
No, sir. I got to buckle down now.
Yeah. What do you want to do? What will that accomplish, having that degree for you?
I'm not really too sure right now where it's going to lead, whether it's, government, NASA. The sky's really the limit with that, and I like to dream big. So, wherever I end up, I'm working hard to get there.
All right, well, good luck. That's some brainy stuff, Bob. Maybe that's at your stratosphere mentality. Me, I'm happy just to be able to spell bachelor's degree. Bailey Lorero, West Scranton, a defensive lineman for the city.
Well, thanks, Paul. I think you're giving yourself less credit than you deserve.
Man on the moon.
Yep. Been impressed with the secondary from the county tonight. Really no openings for the city quarterbacks to throw it to.
No, not at all. And again, credit to the kids. You're on an island. You're man for man, and they've done a pretty good job of locking on.
So down 14, why not? Under 2 minutes to play. They're going to go for it on 4th down, a long 2. I think it's more like a 3.5, 4. Remember, you can't blitz, so Roca back has plenty of time. Good protection. He's going to air it out down the middle. And he underthrew it, and it's intercepted.
Well, it's as good as a punt.
So he's trying to hit Walsh right down the middle, and it was intercepted.
And back to a little bit of the influence of the PSFCA too with the rules. Like we keep mentioning, they have to play man-to-man. Corners can only be off at 7 yards, no deeper. There's no blitzing. There's no slanting up front. We've kind of adopted these rules. From the state, they're the same exact rules that the PSFCA East-West or Big 33 game. They're the same exact rule set they're using those games. So if we're fortunate to have kids playing multiple All-Star games, it's the same rules throughout all of them in Pennsylvania.
So James Lewis picked that off for the county, and we have a flag down after.
We have a warning for the blitz on the defense. There is no penalty at this time.
There you go. Well, always watching the rules, I'll tell you.
There you go, Steve. You were right on. Very timely.
Yeah, and we do have a rules committee here. So Joe Repsis from Babington and Brian Fay from West Side are up in the box. We have Evan Prawl on one side, Greg Arcuri on the other side, just kind of making sure everybody's on the same page.
Well, they made that call. Now county has an opportunity.
All those former West Side players playing by the rules? I don't believe that. And you tell them that I said that, please.
Sounds good. We'll do.
So Cornish in the eye, just 2 wideouts. Oh, great job. He overholds, and he comes back and makes the tackle.
Great effort.
Tyler Overholtz, who led Dunmore the last couple of years to many district titles, playing well here tonight on the outside. 70 tackles last year.
Watch Mason just looking for a spot, patience. And now it's tough to bring down. I don't think he weighs 160 pounds, to be honest with you. But he's tough to bring down.
Yeah, definitely good vision, good leg drive. Great effort there by the
Coach Jervis. You've seen Overholtz the last couple of years,
yes.
playing Dunmore now.
Definitely, and just great effort. And the kids from Dunmore coached very, very extremely well. Any coach ends his program, we know that's going to happen. And Kevin McHale now taking over. Those guys do a wonderful job down there.
Yeah, it's it's a sad day. I mean, to not see Jack on the sidelines, but he's built a program, and time will tell that the program is going to be his legacy, because the guys that are coaching there have been players of his. They've been in as assistant coaches for quite a number of years, so they shouldn't miss a beat, other than Jack's presence, which is not to be understated.
Great point, very valid. You mentioned last season, if I had just a minute, I always talk about our kids so much, and I can't say enough about our assistant coaches and our coaching staff, Jimmy Bicchetti and Jeff Stage, and Chad Gibbs on the defensive side of the ball. Really, down the stretch last year, did a wonderful job. I mean, I felt like we were, as prepared as we could be from a defensive side of the ball. Matt Landseidel, our offensive line coach, did a wonderful job. All of our junior high coaches, did a great job. Playing into December. It's a lot of time away from their families too, so I'm very blessed to have a great coaching staff as well, including my father. I got to mention Coach Jay too. He's our punters and our kickers.
Matt Birney Honda is proud to support the 85th annual Scranton Lions Club Dream Game. Visit mattbirneyhonda.com or stop by our showroom at 1110 Wyoming Avenue in Scranton to find the Honda that's right for you.
Steve, you had to be impressed with the athletic ability and talent of the Farrell football team.
Yeah, it was funny, watching them on film. We were so excited after the Juniata Valley game, because I'll tell you, the quarterback from Juniata Valley was as good as any high school player. His name was Quinn Zanoble, phenomenal football player. And so, we kind of felt at that point, geez, I mean, we could play with anybody. And, so we're watching Farrell on film, and a lot of people don't realize, they'd actually beat the team that was in the two-way state championship, and you're looking at the roster. They actually had the biggest offensive line of all 12 teams in Hershey. The back was, the quarterback was, 6'3", 240, going to Pittsburgh to play linebacker. They were big, and they were athletic, and they were very, very good. So,
I have a question for you about now. Farrell's High School is located on the Pennsylvania-Ohio line.
Yes, right in Sharon.
Now, is there any suspicion that there were some Ohioans on that roster?
I'll tell you what, I don't know where they came from, Stan, but I'll tell you what, they were some talented football players.
They were.
I think I would have put them up against any team down there, to be honest with you. I think they could have competed from the singles all the way up to the 6As.
40 seconds done in the shotgun. Trying to get it back, but not to be outdone. Chance Smith out of Wallenpaupack, headed to Monmouth, 6'3", 280. Makes the sack undone, back at the 38-yard line.
Again, he's got no receivers that are open, good coverage on the part of the city, and Chance Smith gets himself a sack.
So that should about do it. They'll roll this clock out. What a half by the county team. Last year, of course, they lost 49-20 to the city team. But the county looking pretty strong here at the 85th Annual Scranton Lions Club Dream Game. Coach Steve Jervis from Lackawanna Trail, we'll see him against Old Forge this year again.
Fantastic.
So we'll see if that big game, we had it last year, but this time it's down at the Blue Devils. Thanks for joining us. Good luck this season. We'll see you in a couple weeks, I'm sure, at the Media Day.
Sounds great. Thank you so much, guys, for having me on. I appreciate it.
Okay, now Paul Grippy with Coach Kyle Cook.
Okay, Bob. Well, Coach, you find yourself in a hole at halftime, but they jumped out 14-0. How did your team respond?
Obviously our defense was on the field a lot, and we got a big stop down there on the missed field goal. So we're doing well. We just a turnover and a quick score, and it's really a 7-point game. So we'll be fine in the second half.
You feel all that practice is paying off? Does your team look sharp like you'd like them to look?
Yeah, I think so. I think we had maybe a little jitters in the beginning of the game, but we'll be fine in the second half. I think we found a few things that are going to work, and we'll go from there.
Okay, Coach, thanks a lot. Good luck. And Bob, the second half, City is looking like they're stepping it up on defense.
They are. So when we come back, we'll go down to the field one more time for our Man of the Year from the Scranton Lions Club. And that'll be in a couple minutes. And that will be Coach Bagnall from Susquehanna. 14-0 at the half. County leads.
You're watching the 85th Scranton Lions Club Dream Game presented by Coordinated Health Scranton Orthopedics on MyTV WQMY.
We are back at the half. 14-0 is the score. County leads. And always a great presentation at the half is our Man of the Year from the Scranton Lions Club. We'll send it down now to Jerry Prosciutti again. And as we honor Susquehanna, former Susquehanna coach and now Hall of Fame coach Dick Bagnall.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Scranton Lions Club, it is an honor for me to present to you Coach Dick Bagnall, the Scranton Lions Club Man of the Year for 2019. He came to Susquehanna High School in 1972 after graduating from West Carolina University with a Bachelor of Science degree in education. A resident of Susquehanna, Pennsylvania, he compiled a record of 169 wins, 129 losses, 3 ties, in 28 seasons during 2 stints as the school's head football coach and 26 years as the athletic director. In his first stint as Susquehanna head football coach, he won 3 Suburban Conference championships and numerous Eastern Conference Northern Division titles. His 1964 team advanced to the state Class A Final Four and was ranked number 3 among Pennsylvania Class A high school football teams. The Scranton Times-Tribune selected him as its Coach of the Year after their loss in the state semifinals. Coming out of retirement 4 games into the 2004 season, he revived a struggling football program, eventually leading his team to the Lackawanna Conference Division III title. He resigned as head football coach following the 2011 season. In 2009, he was the head coach for the city team, and in 1974, served as an assistant coach to Mike Hemack in that game. He was inducted into the Pennsylvania High School Football Coaches Association Hall of Fame in 2018. He also was inducted into the Pennsylvania Sports Hall of Fame Northeastern Chapter in 1997. On the personal side, and this is important to understand, he was giving blood for a good friend who had leukemia, and unfortunately, that man died in 1979. However, he was a match for a man in Texas whose only wish was to see his granddaughter graduate from high school. He had his bone marrow harvested, and that man was able to see his daughter graduate from high school, and 13 years later, he was cancer-free and watched his daughter graduate from the University of Oklahoma. Thanks to Coach Bagnall, he is a miracle of life through the power of bone marrow donation, and they are still friends to this day. That is very, very special. That certainly tells you about Coach Bagnall and what he stands for. Ladies and gentlemen, we give you Coach Dick Bagnall, the Scranton Lions Club Man of the Year. Coach Bagnall, here you are, man.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Jerry. One thing about being a bone marrow donor, and probably that is the most, that's the best thing that I've ever done. All the wins and losses, championships and whatever, that doesn't hold water to actually giving someone his life back. And after 21 years, he is still cancer-free. Thank you. Congratulations to Coach Henses. No one else is more deserving than you, Coach. We go back a long way, and for you to do what you did for 58 seasons, 58 years is just amazing. Way to go, and continued good health. With me tonight is my family, my wife of almost 50 years. She's over there. To be a coach's wife, you have to be a special person, and she is. My daughter Jennifer, her children, my grandchildren, Rylan, Addison, and Colton. I'd like to thank Jerry, Guy Valvano, the Scranton Lions Club for honoring me tonight as Man of the Year. This is something that I did not expect, but I tell you, it is wonderful. To be included with all the other gentlemen that have had this honor bestowed on them is humbling, very, very humbling. Thanks to all of you for being here tonight. Your few dollars of admission does so much for the Scranton Lions Club, for their mission on helping so many people in the Scranton area and Lackawanna County. Thanks to the coaches for giving up a part of their summer away from their team's practice and conditioning schedule to give us such a good game tonight. Thanks to the athletes participating tonight. They have just done a wonderful job at practice and obviously willing to win, and they all want to win. But more importantly, they have met and made new friends that they will have for a long time. And lastly, and also, just the fact that they are playing in the 85th Dream Game, the longest all-star game in the country, is something that they will never forget also. And lastly, a big thank you to all of those involved in organizing and getting this game together. It just takes wonderful, wonderful people to do that. Well, anyway, the families and friends that are here tonight, the athletes, the coaches, and myself will never forget this night. Again, thank you for the honor of Man of the Year, an honor that I will cherish forever. Thank you very, very much. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. My glasses. Oh, okay. There you go. All right. Thank you so much.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you.
Good job.
How'd they do? All right?
They're great. They're great. Very, very good. Very good job.
Halftime continues at the 2019 high school football Dream Game from John Henzis Memorial Stadium, but we're taking a break right now here at the half. We're at Northeastern Rehabilitation Associates in Scranton, located on the Morgan Highway, and we're going to be talking about concussion treatment. I'm joined by Dr. Paul Horkus, the director of the Concussion Clinic, and Maria Melody Carr, and she's a physical therapist here. First of all, doctor, there's so many ideas and misconceptions about what a concussion is. Why don't you tell us what exactly is a concussion?
Well, a concussion is something that you don't necessarily have to hit your head to suffer from. Any kind of whiplash type of injury or even falling and hitting your body on the ground can cause a concussion. Only 10% of concussions actually cause a loss of consciousness. That means you get knocked out. That means 90% of the time you're not getting knocked out. So there's a lot of concussions that could potentially be missed.
Right, and there's so many misconceptions over the years. We're learning so much more about this all the time. Well, Maria's the physical therapist who actually treats them. So what kind of treatment efforts are involved with it?
There are so many treatments now involved in concussion therapy. Many of them include vision exercises, balance programs, virtual reality. We have laser systems involved, and one of the most important things is our return to play program to make sure that our athletes are ready to go back to their sport.
Yeah, that's good that people get treatment for them. You can't just ignore them. It's not one of those things, ignore it and it'll go away. Well, what are the symptoms? What can people look for, not just in themselves, but if they think someone else has a concussion? What are some of the key symptoms?
Well, identification of a concussion is something that everybody's gotten better at. Teachers, coaches, sideline athletic trainers. So everybody's more aware of it. But really, the patient has to be able to express what they're experiencing. So if they have any dizziness, any lightheadedness, if they try to bend over and touch their toes and they feel funny or they feel like they're going to lose their balance, if they have headaches, those are the typical symptoms that people experience. And it doesn't have to start right after the concussion. It can occur within a couple of days after a concussion, so even 2 or 3 days later, and that can still be a concussion.
Yeah, so don't go playing around. If you think you or someone else has a concussion, get that treated, get them looked at. But preventing the concussion is really just as important. So as part of the therapy, prevention is also something you address.
It is, Paul. And again, one can never prevent a concussion. Of course, the proper gear, proper helmet are important. But one of the things that we like is one of our exercises is to strengthen the neck. And we have what's called the iron neck. We like that device because it does provide some strength to the neck. It does not prevent concussions, but it can help decrease the impact of what the concussion is.
Okay, so that's good to know. It's prevention. Well, you're ahead of the game if you're preventing it. But doctor, it's all about the symptoms, and then it's the treatment. But getting that treatment is so important. It's not like the cold where you can just say it'll go away in a few days. What kind of treatment is important?
Well, that is really the point that we really want to make here today, is that you can't rest your way out of a concussion. Now, rest is a part of concussion recovery, but usually that takes place in about the first 5 to 7 days. After that, active therapy is really the key. And active therapy means actually trying to do some of the things that actually bother you. And that's sometimes frightening for patients. Sometimes when they try to do these activities that cause them to have nausea, throw up, or cause them to feel dizzy, sometimes they get scared. And so we need the therapist to work with them to show them that what they're experiencing is not abnormal at all. It's consistent with a concussion. And so once the patients are able to tolerate that, then we go about trying to get them well enough to be able to return back to their sport. And that's really key, because if you return back to a sport before you're 100% recovered, the likelihood of you having another concussion is increased.
Right. And we're learning more and more about concussions all the time, which is critical and so important. But what are some of the myths? What are some of the things that people commonly think but really aren't true about concussions?
True, and I think Dr. Horkus mentioned back in the day it was thought that with a concussion that you would rest and go into a dark room until you return to your prior level of function. But it's important now to recognize that there is care for concussions. It doesn't just happen, concussions don't happen during sports, they can happen during many different activities. And here at the Concussion Care Clinic, we have a great team approach. We have our director of concussion, we have a trained physical therapist, we have physical therapy assistants with years of experience, and we have our medical fitness program, which involves exercise physiologists, which help us get back to our prior level.
Okay, thank you so much. That is great to know all these things. So Maria Melody Carr, a physical therapist here, and Dr. Paul Horkus, the director of the Concussion Clinic. And this is the Northeastern Rehabilitation Associates in Scranton on the Morgan Highway, trying to help and prevent concussion injuries. We'll be back with more football right after this.
We are back in Peckville at the 85th Annual Scranton Lions Club Dream Game, presented by Coordinated Health Scranton Orthopedics. Bob Ide and Stan Kaharski. Paul Grippy down on the sidelines. We'll get to him shortly. And Coach, let's recap quickly. The first half was all county and pretty much Ethan Dunn from Honesdale.
Your prognostication that the county was going to win this game seems to be coming to fruition. I was very impressed with Ethan Dunn. He certainly didn't throw the ball a lot last season, didn't have to. And tonight he's been spot on and made a couple of really key passes to Thomas Pigeon. And they worked a great coordination of coming back to the football when Ethan Dunn broke out of the pocket. So he's been impressive. The county's been impressive. So the city's going to have their hands full. They only have about 45 yards total offense in the first half. They're going to have to do much better than that if they're going to get back into this game.
Yeah, absolutely, and they will get the ball down 14. Cody with the kick. Looks like Ingley from the end zone. Up quickly, and he's taken down at the 21, and that gives us a chance now to head down to Paul Grippy with a special guest. Paul.
Very special, Bob. Everyone's wondering, who's the guy that made the decision to move this game from Wednesday and Thursday? And I found him. It's Bill Dempsey, the co-chairman of the Dream Game, and we're a night late, but I think it was the right decision. What went into the decision?
You know, I can't take credit for that. There's a group of us with the Scranton Lions Club who all we all came together on that and made the decision. I think it was the right decision. We got a beautiful night tonight, but we took that decision pretty seriously because there's some guys maybe that I know at least 2 guys couldn't make it because they were on family vacations, and we don't want to take that away from anybody. But for the safety of the players, the fans, and all the volunteers, we decided we had to move it to tonight, and it turned out great.
Yeah, no harm done. I mean, look at the crowd here. Place is packed. It's a nice dry night for football. We're enjoying a good football game. This does benefit the Lions Club. What's the effort involved? How will this benefit the Lions Club?
So the Lions Club has been putting this game on for 85 years, the longest running game in the country, and all the proceeds go to Lackawanna Blind Association. So they serve Lackawanna and Susquehanna counties, and they serve a lot of constituents that are either blind or sight impaired.
And Bill's a former player in this game, so you had the experience. What is the experience for these players? What do they get out of it?
It's a special night. I played in 2003. I was on the city team, and it's something that I'll always remember. I still have friends from that game that I made on both sides of the ball, and luckily we won the game, so I have bragging rights moving forward.
Okay, thank you so much, Bill Dempsey, co-chairman of the oldest high school football game in the country. Bob?
And as that's going on, the city airs it out. Donnie Blaine connects. Boy, we talked about him before, but he redeemed himself to Akeem Vassell from West Scranton on a, 79-yard touchdown. They came out throwing and it paid off.
They're back in the game. That's all they had to do was pitch and catch. Here we see Donnie just get good posture, just airs the ball out. Vassell is beaten. Number 36 from Lakeland. And
James Lewis.
And he walks into the inside.
And Lewis had the interceptions, but you saw the speed right there of
again,
Vassell.
Bob, I've said this to you before, that this game, it requires you to throw the football. It just does. The way the rules are set up, you have to try to take advantage of man coverage, especially press coverage. Throw the ball down the field. If it's incomplete, try it again.
Vassell will head to East Stroudsburg University. And he had 13 touchdowns a year ago for the Invaders, and Ada City won, and they're back in it. 14-7 is the score. We're joined in the booth now with
the guy to my right. Just said before that, hey, when are we going to throw the ball down the field?
And who's that guy to your right?
It's Coach Dolan. It's
Greg Dolan from North Pocono.
Donnie Blaine's head coach for 4 years.
Yep.
Don't forget I coached Donnie's father.
It all comes back to you. I hear it. Thanks for having me. I'm thrilled to be here to represent North Pocono High School. And you got to throw the ball, I think, with the athletes that the city has. Take a couple shots up top. I think if you're running the ball in the box, it's going to be a long day. And like you said, use the rules. And I think Donnie could do that. I like what they came out in the shotgun. I think that will be a different second half if they do that with him in the Lackawanna Trail quarterback. They have the ability to throw the ball down the field.
Donnie has shown me a lot of poise. I've watched your teams play since he was a sophomore. I think I even saw him as a freshman, to be honest with you. But when he's in that pocket, he has a little bit of protection. He's very, very astute at finding an open receiver. Yeah. And he throws a great football. I mean, he's got a nice arm. There's nothing lazy about his arm.
And I think we did a game where he took over as quarterback his freshman year.
Yeah.
Somehow I think we were on, I'm going to say against West maybe or someone down at Scranton Memorial.
Yes.
Do I remember right that I think Donnie was a freshman and you played him.
Yeah, and our other quarterback, Luke Fetter, who did a great job for us, got hurt, and then Donnie came in midway through the season and has always been a lot older than his age. I played a lot older than what his age dictates, so very proud of him. It was a great ball.
And he's going to play Division II football in the PSAC, one of the best conferences in the country in Division II.
Yeah, and their program is really improving, and their coaches are doing a great job. And he's a great student athlete. He'll do a great job in the.
How about you break this down?
Yeah, well, I think I'd look like if I saw either a little post lance or they're doing someone up the sideline. This wide out here, and I think number 3, our wide out from from North Pocono, they got some kids that can get down the field. And if you're covering man to man and you get protection, it's hard. Mm-hmm. We all know that. So. They could play a little defense here, get the ball back, and open this game up. I think you're going to see 14-14 really quick. And that's a great call. And I think they should. Adoption is tough in this game. It takes a long time to develop that relationship of option, and you're not in sync, and the ball's on the ground. And I think you have to throw the ball, Coach Kaharski.
Coming back to what you said about Donnie Blaine. I spoke to him during track season. He was a little wounded, wasn't running the meet that I was up there for, and we talked a little bit about him going to Kutztown, and I thought he had a tremendous attitude about it. and that he said, listen, there's some younger guys there, but I'm going to go there. I'm going to work real hard and let the cards fall where they may.
Yeah.
And you can't ask for a kid to be any more realistic about, especially when you're going into a program that has really been on pretty much of a roll recently.
They have, and a quality kid from a quality family, right? And that's it. That's the answer that you expect, and I know that he'll do that. You know. The quarterback.
So second down and 3. Cordish ran that one.
Tough to bring down. He's an elusive running back.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, he had 31 yards in that first half. Maybe we'll see a little bit more of him in the second half. Ethan Dunn had himself quite a half. We talked about him. Back to Cordish. Shakes through the hole for a first down past the 30. Bounces right back up. Edwards on the stop.
As we've said before, Bob, it's tough getting a good shot at Mason Cordish. You know, he's constantly biding his time, looking for that little bit of an opening, and if you're not firm on your posture in terms of tackling, he's going to make you miss, and he's certainly done that, especially last year.
George Mesko from Dunmore on the tackle, at 60 tackles in his senior year for the Dunmore Bucks. And that was a Pocono Transportation first down for the county, leading 14-7. Quick inside trap going nowhere. Great defense from the city. Chance Smith in there from Paul Pack again.
Big kid.
Physical from Paul Pack. Yeah, very physical. Going to do a great job in college.
Headed to Monmouth, so play some big-time football for him.
Greg, being the son-in-law of Jack Henses must be a difficult task for you and your family, you and Missy and the rest of the Henses. Do you want to address that at all? Yeah. Or is that too personal?
Well, I mean, obviously it's a great honor, right, to be with him, and I've coached with him and everything that he has taught to me. And, you know, I'm so happy to see him here tonight. He looks great.
Yeah, he does.
He doesn't. And what he's done for high school football in this area could never, there's a nice screen. You know, you could never repay what he's done for kids in this area. And I think it's how he's acted. You know, a lot of people can talk the talk, but the man has walked the walk for a long time. And I tell everybody all the time, he taught me so much football, but the greatest advice he ever gave me was a lot of life lessons. You know, and other than my father, he's a man that I really look up to when he says stuff, and he taught me some good things. And the football stuff is easy, right? He knows all that, and I listen to everything he said. But, boy, you watch his actions and how he treats his family and what he does for his family each and every day.
Well, you know, I've known Jack for 50 years, and I don't know anybody that surpasses his character, his devotion to family, his religion, his garden, everything that's close to him. And he's a man of great character. And the thing that I appreciate, he's instilled that in hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of young men at all the places he's coached. And they carry on his character in their own.
Yeah, I think he's taught them football, but I think he's touched their lives.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, I bet you there was a run on Jackson Dunmore for a long time when the babies were born, and you know, he's that guy that kids want to emulate. And you know, in this day and age, when you have a role model like that, that's so important. And he did that for so many years at different schools, and you know, obviously the marquee he's made at Dunmore. You know, I don't think you'll ever see another one like him again.
No,
I don't think it'll ever happen again.
There's no question about that.
You know.
And, you know, people have asked me, how good of a coach is he? I said, listen, if there was one game that had to be played and it was for the world title, who would you want to coach? It would be Jack Henses.
Yeah, because of basics and fundamentals. And he'd break it down to blocking and tackling.
Well, that's what the game's about.
That's what it's about, right? And then kids will play for him because he knows how much he cares for them. You know, I saw it firsthand at Dunmore. I think that's a big thing. You know, the kids will play for a man like him because he knows that he'll do anything for them. So you know, I just so happy to be a part of the family. So happy to coach with him and learn so much from him for so long, and still learning from him. You know, when you know he always talks to me and gives me things. Till this day, until a week ago, gave me something to look at for this season. So, you know, it's an honor, quite an honor.
As it should be.
Yeah.
So when you guys go on vacation, I know you're very family-oriented. Is it all about football?
Yeah. Well, you know, yeah, it is. Obviously, we talk about it. We talk about it all the time. You know, a real quick story. We're doing this when I first started dating my wife. I went down there. I tried to talk to him down the shore about things. You know, and you know, Coach is very guarded and very quiet.
Absolutely.
And really didn't know me at the time, and I was the boyfriend, right? So who wants to talk to me? And you know, I was trying to talk to him. I'm like, I'm with Jack Henses, and I love football, so I'm going to learn football. And he was very quiet. Coach is quiet until he gets to know you.
Exactly.
And, so, I was down by the shore and then at dinner on a table, and then, like, very slowly, my mother-in-law sort of probably pushed him into it, and he started talking to me and teaching me things. But, that's who he is, and we're going down. Everybody's down there now, and then we're going down tomorrow. And my wife will be taking Coach tomorrow.
We've talked about the connections. Like I said before, I coached Donnie Blaine's father.
Yeah.
I coached Justin Labasso's father, and I coached Coach Dolan's brother.
You did, absolutely.
So there's a lot of tentacles that extend.
Isn't that the truth, Coach?
It is.
And then your best friend your whole life is my uncle?
That's right, is your uncle.
Yep. A lot of connections.
Back on the field, T.J. Holmes had a nice sack. Now County responds with Dylan Walk with a nice pass over the middle to get some of the sack back. Here you look at this pass from a kid that didn't really play quarterback at all, Western Wayne, last year.
Well, wasn't he when the quarterback was injured? Wasn't Walk and did a really credible job.
Did a very good job. A very good athlete. We use his feet and has a better arm than you think,
Yeah.
And probably from playing the wide receiver position, he knows where the ball should be, as you would know, and do things. And obviously, Randy has done such a great job at Western Wayne.
Oh, absolutely.
With that program. He's a great coach and a great guy, and he put the kids in the best spots to succeed.
So a big defensive stop now needed from the city. Dunn going to air it out, and he's going to overthrow his intended receiver, and that will bring up a punt down. The city does a nice job after the county put some nice plays together. They'll bring on the punt team, and we'll see Donnie Blaine out there again, airing it out.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope when they catch the punt, they come out 4 wide, go shotgun, right?
Why not?
Throw the quick stops, and now going back to my father-in-law, I don't know if he'd be crazy about that.
No, he wouldn't.
No.
They might have changed some of the rules to this game because of him, throwing the ball, right? But he'll kill me if he hears that. But I think you have to do that with the athletes that they have.
There's no question. The game is set up for the offense to succeed.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just the way it is. Linemen can't slant defensively. There's no blitzing. You got to play cover one, and you got to be up tight or within 7 or 8 yards.
Yep.
Carroll on the punt. No rush going to be put on. Vassell back to receive. Has some room.
There it is.
Some speed, and he's playing a nice second half here. As a touchdown and a good punt return up to the 38-yard line.
Great return.
Who wants to go on an all-inclusive cruise to Mexico with Penn State football heroes? Sponsor one family in need right now for just $100 at outreachworks.org, and you'll be entered to win. And here's some more information on that trip, guys. So the trip will be sail from March 9th to the 14th. 9th to the 14th. It includes airfare, food, alcohol, and port fees plus tips. Now here's who's on it from Penn State. Franco Harris, O.J. McDuffie, Brandon Short, Jeff Hardings, Blair Thomas, Stephen Pitts, Leo Wisniewski. There's more. Levi Brown, Charlie Fields, Jordan Norwood, Brian Masella, Coach Jay Paterno, and Sue Paterno puts it together.
Great opportunity. You should make sure that you put your name in for that, Bob.
Well, why? I don't. No, not real. I'm good.
Coach, if they get a first down here, run on the ball, go up top, one of these first downs, you're going to get a skinny post for a touchdown. If they put the formation to the boundary, let Donnie fake it, and get Vassell or get Walsh or get one of those wideouts and get them coming over the top.
Now, wasn't Roto Brown a receiver as well?
He was.
I thought I read that. I haven't seen him in there as a receiver.
Yeah,
right.
Great athlete.
I think the ball moved or something down there. And Greg Dolan from North Pocono in the booth with Bob Ide and Coach Stan Gaharski. Go ahead.
Now, the ball's on the left hash here. The formation's into
Boundary.
the hash. They've got the whole third of the field out here.
Yeah.
But only the tight end. So.
Yeah, so probably not here. But, maybe you look at a little dive option here. Maybe get a first down. I'd love to see him go to play action on the first down. There it is. I mean, there's a little option. They moved.
Yeah, illegal procedure.
And now it's going to be 1st and 10.
Yeah.
No, do you think it's illegal procedure or is it an encroachment?
It's false start.
It's illegal
False
procedure.
start.
Yeah.
Offense, 5-yard penalty, still second down.
Jonathan Grande, our referee tonight.
A lot of young officials.
I saw that.
I don't recognize it.
Yeah, I didn't recognize it myself. So, 2nd down, now you're in a pass situation, right? I mean, get something short here, and then you can set a 3rd down up. But Now they're using the field, Coach.
2 wideouts to the near side. Blaine underneath center. Hand it off to the inside. Great job by Ruggieri out of Wallenpaupack. Up to midfield. That will move the sticks. It's a Pocono Transportation first down.
Power roll there, pull the guard right, go off tackle. I think this is a great shot up top right now. Go eye right, split the wideouts, go eye left. Split the wideouts, get some play action into the line of scrimmage, and hit somebody over the top. Donnie's really good at that, and I think you got the wideouts to do it.
Sauter on the tackle. City putting things together after the County really owned the first quarter. Kind of back and forth in the second quarter. Blaine back.
Post lands.
Oh, going long into double coverage to Greco. Overthrew him.
Now they let that, probably the safety, didn't threaten him at all, so there's bracketing there.
Yeah. I think that's what, if you spread them, Coach, and go one on either side, the safety doesn't have as much of a play because he has to sit down inside a little bit.
Now, again, you look at that formation, Greg, and this left corner was 8 to 9 yards off. And just throw a stop.
The quick
throw
stuff.
Throw a quick out,
yep.
Throw a slant. Not every home run is going to be there every down.
Yep.
Take advantage of what they're showing.
Yeah, you've always been an advocate of that. A lot of times as coaches, we take it and take it, and sometimes we forget to keep on taking it as the game wears on.
Force them to defend it. I mean, that's what you got to do.
I agree. So here's that speed option again.
Ruggieri up for about 4. So now the 2 coaches here, I think they're more of running teams, especially Kyle Cook of Susquehanna. He plays to what he has. He plays in a system. When you play in this, are you learning as a coach as well? Because you're saying airing it out, but that's not really in his DNA, right? He's not used to that. Is that so? For the coaches, it's learning as well.
Yeah, you have to be comfortable in what you're doing in your play calling, and he does a great job with his kids at Susquehanna and the kids that he has in the offense that he runs. And I think he's doing a great job here in the second half, but it's a little bit different. Now, I noticed that Coach Keller is not on the sideline. Now, he was with Honesdale, so I don't know if someone else is calling the plays tonight too. And they are very much a run-oriented, double wing, double tight offense. So you have to adjust a little bit for this game.
So, yeah, you learn on both sides.
I agree.
Like you said, the option again is to Ingley. Oh, he sheds a tackle. He gets a first down inside the 40. Nice little run from Joe Ingley. He had a couple brothers played, right, in this one?
Yeah, yes. Big name Wallenpaupack, right, Coach? Is that a?
Yeah, his mother, there are 3 boys, I believe, the Ingleys that played over the last decade.
Yeah, good, tough back. He runs hard.
He's going to head to Bloomsburg, but not played football. And he had over 2,000 yards the last couple of seasons and 23 touchdowns. And Wallenpaupack, I think, actually won the 5A district title last year, didn't they, Coach?
Yes, they did.
I was asking Coach Stan because I know he always was watching that when we were at. How did Wallenpaupack do?
They did a great job. I mean, they started slow. They lost to Valley View, I think, in the first game or second game, whatever it was. And then they just got on a roll. And they've got great size, pretty strong.
Yep.
They had a lot of experience, and they did a great job. I'm really happy for Mark, former player of mine, and he's done a great job with the program.
So City now trying to drive this one in and maybe tie it up here in the third quarter.
Okay, we have a single receiver here. There, he's backed off.
Ooh, taking a big shot there. That's short. Yep.
Yeah, picked off by Sauter. He's got room, and now he's going to pick up some blocking.
He's a good runner. This
comes back.
Better be careful here. Yep.
Great.
Well, that play goes back to the 3 or 4 where that safety is basically free.
Yeah, and if you go twins, the safety can sit over the top of them. If you go wide receivers on either side, now the safety can't be much of a player. But that was developed because the defensive tackle got in the quarterback's face and made him throw it a little short.
Okay, on that interception, the County has the ball. We'll take a timeout. 2:30 left in the third quarter. Big turnover by the County. We are back after the County INT. They've run a couple plays, getting it just around our own 45-yard line. But the guy who, had a nice interception there is with Paul Grippy.
Okay, Bob, County on offense, and this guy is the reason. Kobe Sauter for the County played out Western Wayne. What did you see on that interception play?
I just listened to what Coach Boss told me. you got your man over top, and then once you see him look, you turn and look, and the ball fell right in my hands. After that, you just got to take it like you're going to the house.
So here we are, third quarter, a 14-7 game here. What's the intensity like out there? Is this like mid-season, or is this take it easy thing?
It's mid-season. This is how we look at it. We look at it as no matter what, this is bragging rights. We want to win. We don't care who you are, what you think. We're going out there for a W.
All right, good. And you're here representing Western Wayne. And during the course of your career, Western Wayne turned that football program around. How did that come to develop?
It all started when Coach Wolf came. When Coach Wolf came, he put that mindset in us that no matter what, we're going out there 100%. If we're picked to lose, if we're picked to win, we're going out there going full heads of steam. And with Coach Wolf there and everyone else behind him, we just bought into it.
All right, well, you're graduating, but that Western Wayne team, we expect them to be good this upcoming season. All right, Kobe Sauter, defensive back for the county. He's got himself an interception, Bob.
Yeah, and he's got himself going to Lycoming to play out there for the Warriors as well. A nice program in the MAC. He had an INT last year in the regular season. He's got a big one here in this All-Star game. And the county's now putting a drive on. Nice play to Pigeon from Dunn and back to Cordish. And now, boy, the county just can't. You mentioned it several times tonight, Coach Karski. You can't bring him down.
No, his balance is incredible. People get shots at him. They try to take his legs out. He manages to get his feet back under his shoulders, and he continues to pick up yardage. He seldom loses yardage on most of his runs. You watch this here. Again, he's patient. He's looking for little seams there. He breaks. He drops his weight. Does his little spin, 2 spin moves. Keeps. It's incredible.
That's a Pocono Transportation first down. The county trying to maybe extend their lead with a touchdown or a field goal. Make it a 2-score game. Cordish wrapped up. We have someone lost a helmet.
That should have been a 2-yard loss right there.
Very low to the ground, the way he's built. Because he's not big. If you look at him, he's 5'6", maybe. I would think maybe 5'7". But the way he runs with so low to the ground, you know, they're kicking with the fullback and they're pulling the guard, and that's a great play. And I think they're trying to get after him a little bit right here.
Bob and I have talked about this.
We're going to pick that up in the second quarter, Coach. Third quarter in the books, the only score by the city, and they've cut that lead in half now. The 14-7. We'll be right back to the 85th annual Dream Game.
Let's play some ball.
You're watching live high school football on MyTV WQNY.
At Northeastern Rehabilitation Associates, all of our physicians are board certified in physical medicine and rehabilitation. We specialize in non-surgical care of low back, neck or joint pain, concussions, and sports-related injuries. Our offices are conveniently located in Scranton and Wilkes-Barre. Call to schedule an appointment or visit us at nerehab.com. Welcome back to John F. Henses Veterans Memorial Stadium in Peckville. Head to the fourth quarter in the 85th annual Scranton Lions Club Dream Game, presented by Coordinated Health and Scranton Orthopedics. The county put 14 points up in the first quarter. The city has responded with a touchdown in the third, and now after an interception, the county has the ball back, and this is Valley View's Mason Cordish, strung out and taken down for a couple of yard loss. Also in the booth with Stan Kaharski and I, Greg Dolan from North Pocono. Let's talk about your team. I know you got a season coming up. You've put together some nice teams over the last couple of years, including a district championship in there. So what's this version going to look like?
Yeah, I'm very proud. You know, hopefully we've got a lot of work to do. We know that. Hopefully this year will be another building block. But we lost a lot of good football players. 4 of them are out here tonight, you know, and the kids that we have playing in this game. But we have a lot of older kids that are trying to get an opportunity, and I really like our youth. We have a lot of young, good football players that are really working hard in the weight room, most importantly, and we're excited to see their development.
And I guess the question is who plays quarterback, but I believe you played a freshman last year or something. It was a young kid.
You know, with Donnie now gone, I'm obviously very fortunate to have him for 4 years. You know, we have 3 quarterbacks. We have a senior that used to play running backs at quarterback for us now, Michael Scott. We have a junior quarterback in Mike Carney, and then we have a young sophomore quarterback. So I think I think all 3 of those kids are going to do a great job for us either this year or in the future, and I'm excited about how they've looked in the summer. Got some work and experience, right? Experience is everything.
Greg, how's your offensive lineman coming along? I know last year I watched a couple of your games, and they sometimes were getting beat quite a bit. Have they developed?
I think I think this year this will be the biggest team that I've ever coached up front at North Pocono. We're going to have some good size. Now that doesn't mean we block anybody, right? We got to see that first. But I like the size that we have, and our kids fought last year.
Okay, so the city holds, as you can see, and Chakotay will come in it. Now no rush, but it's a 42-yard field goal.
He's very capable of hitting this one.
So, in the snap and the hold, the holder will be Walk. Of course, no really rush, so let's just see if he gets a nice kick up. It's up, and it is no good. Wide left, but he had the leg.
That's 2 wide lefts.
So the city gets an opportunity now. They'll get the ball back with good field position. 11 minutes left in the game. And probably we'll see Nate Roca a little bit, but not a shabby quarterback himself.
Looks like Donnie's coming in. I don't know if he got hurt. Did he get hurt, Bob? I don't know.
I don't know.
Coach, it looks like he's coming in for the 4th here, maybe one more series.
Thanks to Coordinated Health Scranton Orthopedics Walk-in Surgery Center. You don't need to wait for hours in the ER for orthopedic issues like back pain, strains, sprains, and fractures. Just walk in and see the region's top orthopedic specialist without the hassle or cost of the ER. For more information, go to ScrantonOrtho.com. So the city gets the ball at their own 25. Little flea flicker. This is Roto Brown. Some speed to the outside. Had one tackle, really a guy to beat, and if not, he would have been down the sidelines. Picks up 12.
We were wondering where he was just a few minutes ago. Nice little trick play. You can't teach speed and elusiveness. That's a nice run.
So Blaine is in. Not sure about Nathan Roca. Maybe got banged up. He did come in for one series in the second quarter. Maybe it's just a hot hand. Who knows? They're going to air it out. Blaine down and...
Little miscommunication there.
They had a lot of weapons on the field right now with Roto Brown and Greco from Prep, and then Walsh, and then the wideout from West, Vassal.
Yeah.
And again, I think, Coach, going back to your point, I think you got to take some underneath stuff. The corners are backing off. Everything doesn't have to be a bomb here.
No.
How about getting a quick out and maybe a guy makes a play? I think that's something. If coaches see that. They could say, hey, Coach, let's run a quick hitter here.
When you're manned up and there's not going to be any switching like that, you run a slant and out. It's tough to cover.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy.
Oh, go ahead. So we have a flag down that comes from the upstairs. It's probably going to be some kind of illegal formation, something of the rules you can't do. So let's see what the call is from our referee tonight, Mr. Grande. They're going to explain it to him, and hopefully he will explain it to us.
2 by 2, so I don't think the offense, there wasn't any unbalance. It has to be maybe the way the defense was playing somebody out of the box or how they were playing press.
It was downfield in the secondary. You see the flag.
Yeah, I know the one corner was pressed up top.
We have an illegal defense there. There's no penalty at this moment.
Okay, so it was a legal defense, not sure what, but no penalty. I think that's the big thing. So you see it in somebody just cross paths.
Doesn't make a lot of sense
No.
if you're going to call a penalty and then have no walk-off there or play over.
There's Michael.
So bring up second down.
Here's the doubles again. Here's
It's 2 by 2.
Yeah, so you could hit underneath stuff here and let kids get 5-6 yards and set up a closer third down. Oh, okay, draw.
A little draw. Great play by Trayon Jones in the backfield.
He's done that quite a bit in this field.
Quite a bit. Cody Moyle from Lackawanna Trail couldn't get anything going. And Cody's an interesting story. He's going to head to Kilgore College in Texas to play football. Paul Grippy now down with a guest on the county side.
Okay, Bob, I have offensive lineman for the county, Mike Sebastianelli. I went to Valley View. Mike, 14-7 here, fourth quarter. Did you expect it to be this kind of game, especially in the first quarter, the way it started?
Well, it is an all-star game. We're playing the best of the best from each teams, and I kind of did expect it to be a close game. And everyone's doing a great job out there. It's it's a real hard fight, and we're going to see what happens here.
Yeah, over the course of your career at Valley View, you went head-to-head with Prep, some of the most memorable games you played. Tonight, you're knocking heads with Belardi out there and Holmes. A little familiarity, what's that like?
Oh, yeah, definitely. We know those guys from the last couple of years, and it's fun to go at each other one last time.
And how about your Valley View season? You went really deep into the playoffs, a great regular season. What do you take away from your senior year?
It couldn't have been more storybook of a story, to be honest with you. My senior year, we went undefeated. We won the district championship here at home. It's what we've worked for since, we were in 7th and 8th grade, and we really, turned the program around.
Yeah, well, guys like Cordish get all the attention, Trayon, but the guys on the line really lead the way. Valley View, great season. Mike Sebastianelli, big part of it, Bob.
Thank you.
We'll take a quick timeout as there's a timeout on the field. 14-7 your score. We are back in Peckville on 3rd down and 12. City tried to throw an out pattern. There's a flag down, probably for holding. Let's see, on 3rd down, he probably will decline it, right?
I think so.
So we'll see what the call is on the field. But things are getting a little chippy out there, too. I see a lot of talking, but both teams want to win.
Yeah,
That's
the game's on the line, right?
Yeah.
It's the first time in a little bit we've had maybe a tight game at the end here, and the kids want to win. You could take the penalty here and take a chance and try to get field position if you want. I mean, that's a chance. Or you decline it and then make them punt. They're definitely holding on the left tackle.
The edge rushers have been a factor in this game from both sides.
Yep, yes, they have. In fact, on the last drive, a couple drives, Coach, the ends are going
we have a
inside.
holding on the offense. We have a legal defense, delay a game on the defense. Penalties are going to offset. We're going to replay 3rd down.
So we go to break and we miss nothing because of the offsetting penalties. How about that for luck?
That's right. That's right.
So we'll bring it up 3rd down and 12 on the 33. 9:43 left in the game.
I'm curious as to what the illegal defense was.
It probably has something to do with a guy out of the box, the backers a little bit, or the ends being too wide. Sometimes that's the biggest problem. The ends can't get disattached from the tackles. They have to be with the proximity of them. They can't get too wide. Now here's 3-by-1 into the boundary, Coach. Maybe motioning the guy across here to get to a 2-by-2 and then look for something back into the boundary.
So Blaine in the shotgun, Vassell in motion. 4-man rush.
In the middle.
Run.
Oh, he got caught. Great job by Labasso to come back and make that tackle.
He's a good football player from Honesdale. Tight end and DN.
So that'll bring up 4th down for the City. Forced to punt here. Down 14-7.
What'd you see, Coach? Are they running the more deeper patterns?
28 got open the middle. They switched.
Okay.
Was it Vassell that ran the motion? He was going up. The other guy was gone, and the 3rd receiver here, 28,
came across
in the middle, was wide open.
Yeah.
So Zaravong and Duplessis still in the downfield to receive this punt from Alec Butner from Scranton Prep. Again, no rush put on, so he has plenty of time. This one, his best punt of the night, will go to Zaravong from his 25. Oh, great tackle down there.
Yep. That's Dale Moore from North Pocono.
Yep.
Good tackle. Happy for him.
One-handed in there. Connie will have the ball.
Well, so switch field position.
Yep. So you're in Division 2, right, of
yes.
Lackawanna, and that is a tough division. Scranton Prep has done a nice job in that.
Yeah. We're off of them now. They moved us with we're with Abington and DV and Wallenpaupack and us now.
Okay.
And actually, we know the game we played Wallenpaupack, they won the league and did a great job there, coaching. We 20-19 with a great game there. So yeah, it's a tough league. Obviously, Abington speaks for itself. Joe Repchus is, I think, he's on his way to being a Hall of Fame football coach, and then Wallenpaupack's a great team, and then Keith Olsenberg does a great job. In Scranton High School, he's going to turn that around too. He's a good coach and a good guy, and the kids work with him. You're going to see a lot of good things at Scranton also.
So Ethan Dunn has gone most of the night underneath center. Couple.
Uh-oh.
Well, that was way out of sync.
Yep.
Now again, it looked like defensively there was an alignment there that shouldn't be.
Ball start. Offense, 5-yard penalty. First down.
They're probably going to try to run the ball at them, right, and try to take some clock off. But I think they get a first down, again, play action with some things that are wide open, right? I mean, if they can get into that. This is obviously a big stop for the city right now.
It is. The shift in field position could be a big factor in the last 8 minutes of this game.
Yep. I think one factor is kids are getting tired now, right?
Yeah.
So if you're on the ball, you got the ball offensively, and you could do some things. The defense is going to get tired before the offense. That's always been proven. So if you get the ball, offense has a little bit of an advantage because of kids being tired. All right.
Dunn downfield, and Duplessis ran it in, and you think he was supposed to keep going. Falls incomplete.
Looked like a corner, coach. It looked like they were running a corner route, but somebody didn't run the corner route.
No, nobody did.
Yeah.
Well, that's just, you get what, 5 days, 6 days of practice, if that, and
not easy.
It's not easy.
You just simply have to have simple patterns. I mean,
yes.
Individual routes that are easily run.
Yep. Not much different, coach, than what we used to teach at Pine Forest, right?
Yeah, that's right.
And seriously, I mean, stuff like that where you teach the kids the basics and run those routes. I think a lot of the routes in this have gone really deep, and it's the percentage goes down as far as completion.
I haven't seen a simple curl, anything.
Stop,
like
coach, just a stop. Here's the bubble. Bubble pass or just bubble? Okay.
Yep. Duplessis.
There we go.
Block. Cuts it away.
Uh-oh.
Going to be caught from behind, but a nice gain inside city territory all the way down to the 40-yard line.
Yep.
Gain of 49 yards for Jaden Duplessis.
Well, he's been a big factor in this game. A touchdown catch.
Yes.
Big play there.
Mm-hmm. I think if the county goes on to win this game, you could look at this play as being a turning point.
Yes.
If they go in and run some clock and score here, that's a big play. They had him backed up in their own territory. Simple bubble, just
well, it is. It's a simple play. It's like a toss sweep.
Yep, it's a long handoff, right?
Jaden headed to Wilkes, along with teammate Mason Cordish, and a lot of kids staying local, playing
like
Division III football.
Here's run. Power row, fullback lead, and then here comes the guard.
Good defense on
Still gets 3 though, right?
Yeah. Good defense.
Yep. You could see it. The linemen stuck their hand in the ground, and the fullback had the lean. You knew, they're going to try to run the ball and get after him a little bit. Again, the city's defense is tired. They could run some clock.
Cordish having a good night. Might be near 80 yards at this point. Become a workhorse in that backfield for the county team. They lead 14-7. City trying to hang on and get this be a tie ball game. Dylan Walk now underneath the center. Walk will throw it.
Out wide.
He was covered.
Out wide. He's got him deep. He threw it deep. He was telling
Labasso and threw it over his head.
He's telling a lot of guys what to do coming out of the huddle on that one. It didn't look like it had a great prospect. When you're coming out of the huddle as a quarterback and you got to tell every player what they're doing, it doesn't stand a great chance.
Might as well just draw it up on the ground, right? Like you do in the playground.
But when they came out of the huddle, he was talking to the fullback, the tailback, the tight end came over. He said something to him. You know that as a head coach, that's one of those times maybe you take a timeout. But the play ran here, so now you got a third and long.
We mentioned earlier in the game Xavier Warner from Wallenpaupack, number 14, made a couple of nice plays coming off the edge.
Yep.
He's been kind of quiet the second half. I watched him on that particular play, and he was playing more soft than he did in the first half.
He's got to stay outside, right? He got beaten a couple of times inside. He's an active athlete, boy. Here's a bunch set, so if they're going to maybe run toss this way. There it is.
Spashinelli pulls to Cordish, and your guy you just talked about spread it out.
Uh-oh.
He can't
careful.
take him down.
Watch out.
Cordish still
Look
on
at
his
that.
feet.
Look at that.
TJ Holmes finally chases him down, but he made something out of nothing.
Yeah.
He was 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage, and he actually gained 2.
Go from punt to fourth and short.
It's
right?
balance. His balance is just incredible. He's so low to the ground.
You know, you might punt that ball.
Feet going.
Well, already had him.
Yeah. Yeah, you really got to wrap him, and you got to rally to the football against him, you know, because he just runs. I think he runs so hard and so violently. I mean, he just gives his body up. Every run is the hardest run of his life. He's a great tailback.
Bob and I have talked. We've seen a number of these games, and he just doesn't want to go down.
No.
And he will go down when he knows that there's no other option.
Yeah. You guys seen it from up here. I sat on the ground, and that's a lot more scary than what you're seeing. I saw it right up in my person. He's a tough kid. They're probably going stack there, so either play action or toss or. That's a tailback from Honesdale.
You know, it's frustrating for the defense as well. I mean, here's a kid that's running all over the lot, and you're trying to put your best hit on him, get a helmet on him, and there's just no success in doing that. And you got to rally to the football. Everybody's got to be chasing him.
And that's the big lineman from Prep that had him in his paws too.
Yep.
You know, and he didn't get him, and that changes a third. That could be what, third and. It's fourth and long now, down to 4th and 4. Easily 4th and what, 12, 13
right.
maybe?
It was back here on the 45-yard line.
So that changes your play call. It looked like they were going to go too tight and stack, and maybe I would think 4th and 4 coach, you're looking at play action out of that, right? I probably not going to run. Now the the running back from Honesdale seemed to be in the game. I don't know coming out of the timeout if they're going to put him back there.
You know, when you're trying to evaluate running backs, there's certain things that I've always looked at, balance, vision particularly, you know, that type of thing. Like I said before, not every play is going to go to the house. You know, you've got to bide your time. You've got to read your blocks. You got to read your gaps, and that's all done instantaneously.
Yes.
And you just keep that balance as much as you possibly can. And if you do, you're a Mason Cordish.
And you can't teach that, right?
No,
That's
no.
God-given, Coach. Maybe Coach Cantafio. Now, Coach Cantafio told me that he used to teach running backs to do all that stuff, right? And I believe him. I love him to death. But you can't teach what kids, when they have great backs, you can't teach when they have.
No, he never told me that.
So with 5:58, 4th and 4, big down for the city.
Play action, pitch pass here, right? Something different.
It's a pass.
It's a pitch.
Pitch. Oh, that's tough.
Andy Carroll.
Carroll can't get the first down. Taken down on the outside by Michael Grady from Scranton Prep.
Big stop.
About a yard short. They'll
right.
bring on the city team offense now.
With 5:49 to go, Bob,
Yeah.
we're ready for a spectacular.
Air it out. Let's air it out.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
Let's be patient and move the ball down the field.
But, you know, as Coach Dolan mentioned before, this is one of the closest dream games we've had in a long time. Last year, the city, it was tied at the half, and the city blew it out in the second half.
Yeah.
Good tackle by Grady, headed to Westchester. He's not going to play football.
Yeah, you look at the scores, Bob. 29 points, 15 points, 27 points, 35 points. So there's the big scores if I'm reading the chart right in front of me.
Yeah.
Now, the thing with the trail quarterback, he hasn't played in the second half, right? So this is tough coming in late in the game, not having been in.
So Nathan Roca in the shotgun, right off the bench, as Coach just mentioned. Going to have to put it in the air. Just a 4-man rush, and they do a nice job. He's going to be chased.
Throw it.
Got to get rid of it, and he lost the ball. Lost the ball. I think he got it back out of bounds. But a big loss for Nate Roca after he lost the ball. I didn't see who got his hand on it, who chased him.
Number 11.
Was it?
I think it was 11 from the county.
It was number 11. I believe that's Brett Wargo from Old Forge. Headed to Keystone, but not to play football, and it actually went out of bounds right there. Okay, so on that play, 2nd and 20 on the way. Paul Grippy's down with another guest. Paul?
Okay, Bob, I have Jacob Kenny, a linebacker for the city team. What happened on that 4th down stand there? What did that mean to your team in this game?
That, honestly, might have been the biggest stop of the game. We just had to dig deep. It's pretty humid. It's a huge game. It's a big crowd. It's just a massive stop for us. It's a huge momentum shift.
Now, this one's going to come right down to the last minute, no question. I want to ask you, though, you spent a career of high school football trying to catch Mason Cordish, trying it again tonight. Will you have nightmares in the future about that?
That kid's good. He's good. He's He's one of the best backs I've ever played against. He's insanely. He might not be the biggest kid, but you can't tackle him. It's like he's covered in Vaseline. It's crazy.
Those were great games over the years between Prep and Valley View. This one running up to a terrific finish. Jacob Kenny for the city team, Bob.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jacob, for joining us. Yeah, he mentioned we talked about him. We got Vaseline. Maybe that's the key, right?
Could be. Good way to put it, right? Ran the double flare there, tried to bring the Z in for the middle screen, and the county was there sitting waiting for it. They did a good job there.
The open side offensive tackles are having a really difficult time protecting.
Yep.
And they're
Third
putting
and
pressure
20.
on the quarterbacks.
And we're going to call timeout from Susquehanna. I should say the city, Susquehanna coaching staff there with the city. So, Coach, let's talk about 4A of District 4. You're in 4A.
Yes, we are.
Right? And that is loaded.
I
Dallas,
think,
Berwick, Valley View,
Yeah.
and then go down the line. You guys, West, who else is in there?
I think so. I mean, that's a pretty good five,
Yeah.
right? I mean, obviously, you look at the defending champ with Valley View, has so many kids back. The quarterback is going to be an elite football player. But Dallas brings everybody back. And he's a good football coach. And they're going to run power roll. They're going to run the fullback, or pull the guard and run the fullback. And then Berwick will always is Berwick, and I think West has some very talented tailbacks, and Brian does a great job. And I think, obviously we hope to be in the mix and be there. But Quad A is very competitive in our area.
Yeah.
And obviously Valley View being the two-time defending champ will have a lot to say about that with the talent they have coming back. I've heard some people say they think they could be better than last year. That's a little scary.
That is scary.
Well, at the end of the year, I think the last game that we did here in the Dallas game, it was the Dallas game. Defensively, they started 8 underclassmen.
Yeah. Yep.
So they're going to be pretty solid defensively. From my perspective, one of the things that they're going to have to discover is a tailback. I mean, the Mancia kid, he's okay. He backed up last year, so maybe he'll emerge like Cordish did. But that's a lot of production that you have to get from other people.
Yes, it is.
But Janasa Boone is the X factor.
Yeah. Well,
And watch out for Dallas. That's all I have to say. Those kids have been playing since freshmen.
They're going to be good.
And their quarterback's back and their running back.
I agree with that.
So 3rd and 20 from the 23. Roca looking, better protection.
Well,
he's going to go down. He's got Vassell wide open. Tries to make a move. Don't go backwards, buddy. There he goes. Stays on his feet. Goes north to south, and they have a huge first down.
Yep. Post
they
Lance.
needed 20, and they got 23.
Yep. Post Lance, right? They're taking advantage of the man-to-man. Now he got some protection, right?
Yes.
And that's the key. I tell you, it wouldn't be a bad idea to go doubles and run the trail quarterback too here if they're spread, if you can with
He's
some
a good
time.
runner.
He could run, and he's a big, strong kid. And I think that you look at that play here, a little off tackle with him in doubles, and you might find a seam.
Vassell's redeemed himself here in the second half, I'll tell you, after that fumble in the first half. He had a touchdown and a big catch right there, and a nice run on special teams. Give it to the eye, and Gilly dotting that eye. He'll give it to the wall, Paul Pack back, and he shoots through and gets up for 9.
That's Joe Ingley.
Yep.
Made a nice cut up to the C gap.
Yep.
He's just 5'9", 165. Another small back.
Poirot again. I mean, these guys are running the heck out of that, and that's a good run.
Well, the running game is going to be simple. I mean, they just don't
Yes.
have a lot of time to put anything elaborate in.
Yep.
So keep your blocking schemes relatively simple.
Yep. Down, kick, and
That's
pull
it.
the guard, and that's.
Hope that your guys are better than their guys.
Yep, absolutely.
Now, a lot of the county defenders have their hands on their hips, obviously getting tired on a hot, humid evening in July. So two wideouts now to the near side.
There's a busted play.
Sure.
Right up the middle. Dylan Walk comes in along with number 71, Lowly from Delaware Valley, making the play of the night.
Somebody went the wrong way.
Yeah, something was wrong.
Yep. He was a little bit too open to cut in there, huh? Yep.
Quarterback line scheme, something didn't mesh. Obviously, you're in 4-down territory here, so you got 2 plays.
2 plays to get 6 yards. down 7 in a very entertaining Dream game this year. Very hard fault on the field. Plenty of time. Down to the middle of the seam to Greco, and picked off again by Kobe Sauter from Western Wayne.
Great play.
So Western Wayne kid has 2 interceptions. The Honesdale kid has 2 touchdowns. Done and doing pretty good.
Wayne County is well represented.
Yeah, fantastic.
Wayne County night.
Yep, and those schools, good football. And they're getting better, obviously, and good football. Honesdale and Randy, and they got good kids, big kids, right? Good size, and he's a great athlete. That was great coverage.
Yes, it was.
He was right in his hip pocket and right where he was supposed to be. And Greco's a very good wideout. So how many timeouts now for the city has? They used the 1 at the end, so one timeout. So one timeout, 1 first down could really wrap the game up here. Ooh, helmet's off.
City still fighting. Blow a late whistle. Here's the INT again.
Yeah. Had a little pressure in his face, right?
Yeah.
And then he was right there, you know. But that was set up because of the second down miscue, you know. And now you can't get into maybe what you want to do.
Nick Videla, the Carbondale running back, picks up 5 yards on that. Headed to Berry College. Dunn wisely going to take that play clock all the way down. Give it to him again to the outside, head down, Powers for a first down.
Yeah.
And the clock keeps going.
Yeah. They have to use their timeout either now or the next down. You have to use it.
Yeah, that last City possession might be all she wrote for that team.
Yeah.
And maybe their last chance, as you talked about.
Yeah.
Grady with the tackle again, but
that's the way to finish that run, though. Dropped his hips a little bit.
A little forward lean.
And that was a Pocono Transportation first down for the county. Trying to redeem themselves after losing last year 49-20 to the City team.
Twins is the big formation, Coach.
Yeah.
So motion, power back the other way. Got to take the timeout here.
Late flag comes in. This will be unsportsmanlike. 90 seconds left in this. Coach Dolan, good luck this season.
Yeah,
we'll see you at the media day in a couple weeks.
How about that? How quick has that come, right?
And then I think we have you week 2 against Western Wayne.
Western Wayne.
Yeah. Yes,
Going to be a great football game.
Illegal defense warning on the City. There is no foul. It's the first infraction.
Yeah, so that should be a good game up at your place. We love coming to your place.
Yeah, great. It's a great setting, a great venue for a game, isn't
Yep.
it? We're very proud of it, and our school board, our superintendent, everybody involved with that did a great job of setting us up. For a while there, our field wasn't the greatest.
No.
And what we got the new track, and then obviously some new lighting, and then the field, and our people really put a lot of money into our programs.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of teams use that field too.
Yes, they do. I think that's something everybody thinks it's just football,
No.
Bob, and it's not. You know, and football fields are not just for football, as they should. They should
Not
not
anymore.
Be.
Nope.
They should not be just for football.
Videla again getting a carry. No timeouts left though for the City team. So one more play.
You know, Greg, you made a good point. When I first started coaching back here, that field was one of the best around.
Yes, it was.
And then for whatever reasons, and I don't
Yeah.
point fingers, it became not one of the better ones. And
Yes.
especially if the weather was inclement and stuff like that.
Yes.
So going to the artificial turf has so many advantages. The
Practice.
multi-purpose use.
Yes. Yep.
You don't have to water it. You don't have to seed it. You don't have to do anything to it.
No, and you know, Coach, I think just the feeling of, hey, this is our field. You know, you have a little pride in that. And I think that means a lot. I know the first year that we got on it, we were fortunate enough to win the district title. Now, obviously, it had a lot to do with players, right?
Sure.
Not a field. But it also made our kids feel good about themselves.
Oh, absolutely.
You know? And I think that's very important. Very important.
And they're going to roll out the clock.
Is that it?
Nope.
They never took their last timeout?
I think they were out of timeouts. The scoreboard might have been wrong.
Oh.
Nope, there is a timeout. They did take, someone took a timeout. I think the county did.
Yeah.
And we'll go quickly down to Paul. Paul, you have a special guest down there.
I don't know if that's game.
And
okay.
Yep, there we go. Go ahead.
I'm on the sideline, the county sideline, with Tommy Surivong of Old Forge. What's this game been like? The competition is 7-point, real close game.
It was so tough. City had a great athletes, great line, and it was a hard-fought battle game by both teams.
Okay. What about for you? What's your been experience like playing in this game? What we remember?
Just building a bond with the team, with the guys that I played with, and the guys who I played against, and we made a huge team bond.
Yeah. Well, you're playing with a heavy heart. You lost a relative. Your grandmother passed away, and you were still able to get the motivation and play in this game?
What?
What motivated you to play this game since you went through that loss?
Just knowing that she's watching me become like the person who I am, and still, like, I love her so much, and she's up there watching me be great.
All right, that's so great to hear, and it's a tough time, a tough thing to go through, but congratulations on a great game. You played awesome tonight, and a nice win for you.
Thank you.
Okay. Bob?
So one snap, and that should just about do it here in the 85th Annual Lions Club Dream Game, presented by Coordinated Health and Scranton Orthopedics. So, Coach, pretty good game.
Yeah, it was.
Had its
I think the result is a little bit unexpected to some degree, but you give the county a lot of credit, and especially Ethan Dunn. He did a great job.
They hand it off up the middle, and that should roll out. Well, they'll stop it for the first down and then re-roll it. That's a Pocono Transportation first down, the last one of the night. And County put all their points up in the first quarter, and they held on.
They held up.
They held on. The defense played well down the stretch. Clock hits 0, and that will do it here at Valley View. When we return, we'll have our players of the game at the 85th Annual Scranton Lions Club Dream Game.
You're watching the 85th Scranton Lions Club Dream Game presented by Coordinated Health Scranton Orthopedics on MyTV WQMY.
And on a beautiful night for high school football, the 85th Annual Lions Club Dream Game comes to a close, and the county redeems themselves with a 14-7 victory. Paul Grippy down with our players of the game. Paul?
Okay, Bob, it turned out to be a defensive game, so we have a defensive player of the game. Kobe, 2 interceptions. Sauter, we talked to you before after your first interception. Tell me how that second interception went about.
It was amazing, because when we came down, we were on defense and we were going slow, and when they got that big gain to get first down, it hit us hard right in the gut. So we kept going, and I told Dupe, I was like, Dupe, don't worry, like, we got them the next time. And they sent that ball up there, and it hung. And when I cut in front of them, I knew it was a wrap.
All right, how's this win feel? I mean, it was a tight one. You weren't sure until the end, but how's the win feel?
Oh, amazing, amazing. We sat there the whole week of practice, that week and a half. We told them, like, after Coach said at the brunch, he's like, we got them here. We had to pull through for Coach, and we always got his back.
All right, thanks a lot. Congratulations on a good game. And on offense, player of the game, Ethan Dunn, quarterback for the county team here. You jumped out to a 14-0 lead. It seemed like you could blow that out from there. Then the game changed. What changed?
You know, it slowed down a little bit. It became a defensive game, and there's great guys, there's great defenses both sides, and we kept battling, we kept fighting. We couldn't really get anything going in the second half, but we came through in the end.
And being a quarterback, was it easy to get in a flow with your receivers and your offense, or is it a little shaky because of this being an all-star game with unfamiliar players like this?
It was definitely a little shaky. You know, the game picks up a little bit compared to a regular high school game. There's so many great athletes out here, but we got a little bit of rhythm here and there, and I got to throw the ball up and let my guys make plays.
Oh, Coach Drakowski's your regular season coach, too. You think he's proud of you tonight?
I'd say so.
Okay, well, let's ask him. The winning head coach, Mike Drakowski for the county. Yeah, he coaches at Honesdale. What about your quarterback, Ethan? Quarterback you for at Honesdale, and what'd you think of the way he played tonight?
I love that kid. I'm going to miss him so much. He's just a competitor all the time, and going gets tough. Ethan's there, and we know we could count on him.
We always hope for a good close game when we have an all-star game. This one, you jumped out 14-0 in the first. You could have ran away with it, but it changed into a tight game. And how did you see your team respond?
They responded. I mean, these are the best of the best in the area, and you know, they say the going gets tough, and these guys stood up to a very good city team. They came out real quick in the second half and put that quick score up, and our guys didn't. They kept fighting.
Okay, how should they be feeling right now?
They should be feeling awesome. It's a great win for these guys. I'm so proud and so happy for these guys. They've earned it.
Okay, congratulations, Coach Drakowski. And Bob, there's your players of the game, Ethan Dunn, Kobe Sauter, and the county takes home a win.
So the Honesdale coach goes 1-0 in the dream game. Good job for him, and a great effort from his team, especially his quarterback, Ethan Dunn, who really led the game in that first quarter.
Well, you know, that's what this game can be all about. Unsung players, somebody that comes in here, he's not an all-regional kid or all-state or anything like that, and they're given an opportunity to showcase their skills, and he certainly answered the bell. The three receptions that Thomas Pigeon made were on passes that he came back towards Dunn. Dunn just baited his time until he was open, and he put the ball right on the money. These were big passes during the course of the game.
Well, Coach and I will be back at it. Hopefully August 23rd, it will be Valley West against Scranton. That should be a great opener, and then it's 10 regular season games, 4 playoff games, and we're along for the ride. You and Jan Cechek and I will be back at it, and, of course, Paul Grippy and our crew as well.
Listen, it's here.
It is.
In December, you and I were down in Hershey, and it seemed like yesterday. So we're back at it, and Media Day is right around the corner, and that's kind of the kickoff for the year. And then the conditioning will start, the heat acclimation period will start, and the doubles, and then the first game on the 23rd. So it'll be here sooner.
It will be soon. Next week, you and I will head to District 4 Media Day, and we'll see the Southern Columbia boys out there as well. But what a great night of football. No rain, great weather, and it turned out to be a pretty good game. County wins it 14-7 for the entire Fox 56 sports crew, who did an awesome job tonight in the heat and the humidity. For Paul Grippy, Stan Kaharski, the coaches we had in the booth, this is Bob Ide saying, hey, we'll see you August 23rd right here on MyTV for Friday Night Rivals.
You're watching the 85th Scranton Lions Club Dream Game presented by Coordinated Health Scranton Orthopedics on MyTV WQMY.